Hello, everybody. Welcome to WLDL Week 1 matchup between Catz and Takes Tree to Tango. This is top division, Kaya division, so expected to be some good games tonight. Joined by Chila Strange and Sergeant Sarcasm. How are you two doing tonight? Hell yeah. Okay, we were just starting to look at these teams, what we expect. They had a week 1 matchup in last year's WLDL tournament as well, and it was a 1-1 split. So definitely expecting this to be a close game, a close series. It's pretty close. Their team MMRs are, according to the webpage, 4373 for Takes Tree to Tango and 4230 for Sync. Yeah, I think all of the week 1 matchups were chosen with like the closest pairs of MMRs.
The winning side for the most part. Yep, they choose Dire.
It's kind of interesting. Normally, teams favor Radiant a little bit just because the easier rush control.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, though I like to take Dire, so
Yeah, I think
perhaps just comfort.
yeah, plus I think ever since like the Arlington major, I think Dyer's been favored in pro matchups. I know part of it is the I believe the jungle farming is preferred. But I'm a support player, so I don't know a lot I don't know a lot about how that
Radiant,
works. But
Radiant outface jungle is kind of troll despair. Or to put it that way, it's
Gotcha.
pretty awful to farm. You can't stack it like double stack it either. So
10 seconds.
Okay.
Oh,
if you have a carry, like say you have like a Naga Siren, like a TB, and or like a Life Stealer, and you kind of want to like occupy your safe lane space, it's a lot more efficient to do that on Dire just because the jungle is so much more efficient to farm.
it's also much easier to stack on Dire side as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. First set of bans, Disruptor banned out by Takes Tree to Tango. That was Cat's most picked hero last WLDL season. 15 games, 60%
it's a big
winner.
Definitely a big tippy hero right there. So targeted ban towards him.
And I think that was one of the higher picked heroes. Obviously, we're not even finished with the first week of games. But yeah, 5 games so far in this year's season, 80% win rate. So been a pretty good hero so far. And then the Tusk banned out by Catz. Not seeing that as a popular hero in the past for Takes Tree to Tango, but this is one of the big mids in the pro scene and a pretty flexible. It's
I was
still
gonna say
pretty viable at 4.
And 3 if you really want to roll it there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's just there's too many roles they can play it, and it's like the 4-4-0 build right now. Just you nick a wave and you go run at somebody again. It's like it just does so much damage. There's a lot of tempo control.
So they like to ban out the Lina. Do you think Takes Tree to Tango will just lock in a Razor right here?
Yeah, Razor's been a big winner, so if they've got somebody who plays it, definitely is a great starting pick.
I think it would like they might want to wait until they can pick Razor on 8 just in case they get it counterpicked by literally 5 heroes. Whereas if they pick on 8, they can still ban 3, and then it makes it a lot more secure.
Don't you risk Catz picking up in the next 2 picks?
You do, but then you also have 4 heroes to answer it. So I mean, both teams are probably thinking about it. Yeah, the issue is like with just the one Lena band, there's still a lot of high damage cores that could be picked, right? So it might not feel the most secure. Like you can imagine they would just like whip out an ancient apparition or something on 8. It would be kind of griefed.
Witch Doctor here though is I think a really good pickup. I mean, you don't show too much your hand. I find it fantastic hero support wise. You can play it 4 or 5. Got stuns, heals, massive damage.
Oh, this is going fast.
Got tiny CM spawns and immediately answered Outworld Destroyer.
I'm fully expecting to see the banning of Razor within these next 3, if not Naga as well.
Yeah, I would I mean, yeah, Razor kind of needs to be banned. There's not enough damage. I mean, I guess the outward, like, the early late game might be enough, but I think the Razor Bloodstone timing hits way too hard for both teams to deal with right now. Like, Tiny has some burst, but especially if this is going to be a 4 Tiny, he just doesn't have the damage to deal with the Bloodstone.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see Rubik banned out. Common early counter, you steal the banish and make his life really miserable. So,
yeah,
it's been
that is a big thing. Razor...
good hero, but I'd imagine they're probably looking at Tiny 4, right? If you're picking it this early, so kind of scary to ban the Rubik out. But sorry, I think I cut you off. So.
Yeah, I was kind of just saying. I think the Outworld Destroyer is a little bit of a counter towards the Razor, not hugely, but if he does start to static link somebody, then you just kind of banish them, and everybody gets to walk away scot-free.
Get Undying as the first ban in the second phase from Sync Catz. And Drow will be Takes Tree's next ban.
10 seconds.
Makes sense. It looks like they're probably going to have to want to pick up a right-click carry with a couple of beefy heroes.
I was actually kind of looking at Drow for Takes Tree themselves. I mean, already right-click after, you go minus Ags and you kind of get these right-click scaling things there. I was thinking marksmanship might be pretty good for them. This does open up Razor a lot because Drow's one of those cores that has a lot of Fizz DPS for the Razor. So I'd imagine that is gonna be of pretty high importance in this phase of like pick ban. Now that the Drow's gone.
Dire's turn to ban.
Yeah, you've got the regen cancellation on the shard from Drow as well that helps deal with those Bloodstone heroes.
As of right now, unless you ban out the Naga and the Razor
10 seconds.
in these last 2 bans, they both might slip through here into this
5 seconds.
Next set.
Who do you think the Naga would be good for? I mean,
literally,
considering how static TTT's lineup is right now, I'd imagine they're not really looking for the Naga. You kind of want people that can use the vision that the illusions grant in the middle of fights to find the good jumps and supports and stuff. So it might be a little bit awkward for them to pilot the Naga.
I don't think so, because you just kind of sit back and farm jungle, and I mean, you can get really, really aggressive with a Witch Doctor support. You just need sometimes nobody else, just the Witch Doctor to like show up and solo kill, the enemy carry or mid or whoever he needs to kill. I mean, Outworld Destroyer can get pretty aggressive in the mid game, up until the BKB start coming out.
The laning looks good. The team fights might be a little bit scary. I mean, and they banned PL, so I mean, they kind of are respecting the illusion threat a little bit.
I think it's just because potentially it's a little bit easier for the Phantom Lancer to get on top of them, and it naturally builds the a Diffusal Blade to just kind of suck out anybody's mana at that point in time. It's a little bit easier to clear, or for him to build up illusions than it is for Naga, though.
There's a curious Zeus pick. Hulk, I'm curious what your thoughts on this are.
Yeah, you've
5 seconds
definitely
remain.
still got some flexibility, but you're pretty far into magic damage with the 3 heroes you're showing now, and not a ton of durability. And I don't think the lane matchup is great for Zeus if you are putting the Zeus fight against the OD, which would be my first guess of where they're putting their heroes.
It
So I
does
Do you
love
think
the
there's
Zeus
any
good against the
possibility to
Naga.
like put Tiny to Zeus 4? I mean, it sounds pretty interesting.
Radiant must choose
Yeah, I think you definitely have the
spirit.
option to do Zeus
Oh,
for
what the?
Snap
Okay.
Ember.
So are you playing 3 then?
Yeah, or the Ember could be 1 and the OD in the mid. I think either of those options
10 seconds.
is
I'll-
okay.
It's quite
me out.
curious, yeah.
I'm gonna spice things
Okay.
up really high and put the OD 4.
And then the
Okay,
Snap
that one
3?
sounds a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Maybe not with the snap. But that would be
That's
pretty
how that
freaking
can happen.
spicy.
Hey,
I would
happily.
happily watch a Snap core game. It has been a thing in the past. I think it's been quite a while since we last saw it be very popular. But
I think it could also be pretty good against the Naga if you just sit it far back and you get the shotgun cookie spit out as well as your ult to just nuke down all the illusions. Plus,
Yeah,
you'd
we'll
be saving your
see.
net for the Ember.
Okay, this is really scary for Catz. They're kind of presenting a really, really static early game. I don't see
10
any
seconds.
kind of like. I don't see how they move
5
around the map
seconds remain.
before BKBs this game so far. They're kind of missing a lot of tempo control that the Udi and Ember will. I feel like they can kind of run over the game here. This is a little bit scary.
yeah,
I'm also still waiting to see how they
Turn
protect
to
the
back.
Zeus from the Ember Spirit because Doom will have to step forward.
Yeah, he kind of has to
And-
step forward, but then he's just gonna get Maledicted and Death Warded, right? It feels really
Yeah.
awkward.
And the Ember
Plus, they
Spirit's
have
gonna
Udi save
remnant right
for
past
the
them, too.
Doom as well.
And that's what I mean, is like the Ember's just gonna remnant
10
right past him, right on top of the
seconds
Zeus to
Yeah.
blow
This
him
could,
up.
5
This
seconds.
could be really, really awkward.
yeah. I'm trying to think what finishes this out for St. Catz. I mean, with a Doom, assuming that's your off lane where it would normally be, you're probably looking for your 1 still in the draft. So probably something higher tempo, like a Slark, that's going to be okay
Dyer's turn to back.
with your 3 sitting back a bit and farming a bit longer than you normally have.
I feel like Lifestealer might be an option they're looking at. Does kind of run at people through their AD vanish.
Though.
It feels a little bit weird though, because you're playing into
10
Snap. I actually
seconds remain.
What
I
if we
feel
do
like
this
there's
Zeus
so many
one?
things I have to address. They have no tower pressure, they have no
5
tempo control.
seconds.
So it's like it's kind of hard to find a hero that solves both of them right now. And
They have some
they have
tower
some
pressure
defense, but-
if Tiny's a core.
You think
uh,
Tiny could play one position this game?
I think it might be a 4.
I'm expecting it to be a 4. I think it's an option. That's another one that has been really good in the past, hasn't been very popular lately.
What are the chances of a position 1 Zeus coming out here? It's my low skill brain.
No,
just trying to come up with some
I think
idea
it's
here,
too fragile to play as a 1 here. You need levels on the hero, and if you put it as a 1, well, that just makes you so much squishier for the
10
Emerald to run at you, right?
seconds.
but- Okay.
I think it's way too dangerous.
5 seconds remain.
These
And
last
also, it
few
doesn't give you enough
bans-
scaling against this because
Yeah.
they're gonna turn out to be really tanky.
That
That's
is
really
if
good,
it's
right?
if it's a mid Ember. If it's a position 1 Ember, rotations are also gonna be like the levels are gonna come out really slow there as well.
I think no matter which hero you have mid for Takes Tree to Tango, you're gonna get decent rotations. Because if you have
For
Ember,
sure.
he's able to move around a lot early, and an OD is also happy to set up ganks early.
So it seems like Syncats think this is a 1 position Ember because they're banning out 3 positions.
Yeah.
So
And then Takes Tree to
That might be
Tango
the reason.
is also not sure about Syncat's draft, banning out the Nyx and
10
the AM.
seconds remain.
Which I think is mostly just protecting your OD. So you're
5
probably
seconds remain.
expecting
Yeah,
your OD
I
to be
mean-
running your game.
It'd be a
yeah,
really good next game.
It would be a good next game. It does mean that they put the Tiny on one position, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I
they
think
kind
you
of
could
lack
get
damage
away.
for the Tiny, right? If they put Tiny in one position, like, already kind of needs 3-4 items before it feels good to hit the Tiny middle of the fight.
And the Tiny, like, it would, but one Tiny would solve your damage problems. Just because he's gonna get all those right click builds and he smashes through towers. His alt
Phantom
stuff.
Assassin.
Ooh.
Okay.
There's a
And
Naga.
there's the Naga.
Enforce your will upon the battlefield.
Interesting. So the
Okay.
Phantom Assassin means the OD is 3 and the Embers
Right. I
presumably.
don't. Okay, I'm not sure how much I like this Naga.
I think he's gonna surprise
It
you. a little
could
bit.
work, but it half feels like you've counterpicked yourself, considering Ember is normally considered a good pick against illusions, and you don't
Mhm.
really out carry PA because PA shard is really strong. But
I think he's
I mean,
going
if they
to
can
save
find
your-
the Doom on PA in the fights, then it does alleviate that a lot. And the PA is kind of really squishy.
Well, if she's
I mean,
disarming you,
both-
all you do is hit your illusions or Manta, because you're a natural Manta builder. And it purges the disarm and anything else that comes along with it, doesn't it?
It's a break, and the break doesn't get dispelled.
Oh, okay. Did it used to be a disarm? It's been so long since
No,
I've
it's
seen
it's
PA.
never been a disarm. I think that was something else.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Oh,
I mean, do you have any draft you favor here?
I personally like the Naga pick, but I might be alone on that one.
I think the Catz draft is a little too greedy for me and takes Tree to Tango between Odie and Ember Spirit, especially those two heroes being 2-3 now. They're going to have the ability to make all the space in the world for this PA to get her 3 items, become huge. They've got a lot of AoE answers for the illusions. So I'm preferring the triple T draft here.
As a smoke comes out, okay, interesting. I feel like with this PA, as long as she isn't going greedy build, I feel like they can really pace on the battlefield. Like, if you go something like Battle Fury, BKB, Shard, Ags, and you just skip Desert, because there are 2 squishy backlines that you don't really need to jump, and Tiny's playing 4, so she's like, the Tiny's also pretty squishy. I feel like you could kind of run over this game really easily. I mean, as you said, Udi is going to be making space. It looks like a Meteor Hammer Udi as well. So, gonna have a lot of tower pressure early, and then Ember will be able to connect pretty fast. I do agree. I think Catz draft is kind of greedy, especially just because you have Tiny to make rotations, but it doesn't feel like he has a clearly defined hero that he wants to play around. Between Naga wanting to farm, jungle really fast, and Udi has Meteor Hammer to counter Naga. Zeus doesn't really have that much early damage if he's not going Lightning Bolt build. And then Doom's just Doom, right? But he's playing against PA, so there's always going to be safety for the PA in the blink. It could be really hard for Tiny to find something to do this game, and the other support is also kind of really static, so if they can get off to good lanes and kind of keep it relatively even, it could work out in their favor that they have a lot of good scaling, but we'll have to see how the lanes goes and how the early mid-game shapes for Takes Tree.
They do split the bounty runes there. I know they were trying to go for the big kill on whoever stepped up to that bottom bounty. And we do have OD just kind of chilling, waiting for a courier. Somebody to step out.
I think just watching how they're blocking, because they have the deep ward on that pillar. Yeah, not quite sure there.
Right, so in terms of like laning, do you think what lane do you think is gonna have the most action? I'm expecting this top lane to have quite a bit of trading, and I'm expecting it to be quite volatile. Oh, pause.
Crash from the Zeus. Well,
As Zeus is,
right
if you look at his position, he is standing on top of the enemy high ground. That's spicy. Yeah, he cleared the whole wave there, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah, has taken some damage. Dog offering the yeah. Dog offering the high five to the disconnected Zeus.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw last year this guy put on a hell of a performance in mid lane, so expecting good things. I remember, I'm pretty sure he played a TA game that I casted once, and it was really spicy. So, yeah, expecting good things, as we do from these kind of players.
So I think this bottom lane, it could be really aggressive coming out from the Dire team. If you can time the correctly, you just Astral Imprisonment into Cookie, and that's a pretty much guaranteed stun. Start putting tons of damage into. And if you get on a hero like Tippy, I mean, there's not much hero or much health to burst through there.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of burst between OD Snap.
Early
I mean,
on,
if we see Naga take
twitchy.
and snare early, it could also go the other way around. I mean, CM nukes are pretty strong. There's a lot of minus armor from the Naga. Snapfire's a pretty squishy hero. So, like, pre-Meteor Hammer, I could see some, like, retaliation coming from Radiant side if they choose to play it that way, but they might opt not to. A little bit of trading. CM casually gonna lose half their HP,
Yeah,
as it happens.
just Snapfire things.
Yeah.
Like the half HP
half
goes
their
the
health.
other way now.
Yeah.
Naga walks over to harass. But when I'm this Snapfire and I'm the position 4, like if the position 1 is spending any time paying attention to me, I'm happy. Like, you're not hitting creeps, you're hitting me. I'll take all the damage you want addition.
As the lane's gonna push forward, and you know, Udi casually gets to the 9 while Naga's trying to walk back to the creep, so definitely kind of feels bad for her, right? When you're kind of relying on getting as much farm out the early levels as you can before the Meteor Hammer comes out, because once the Meteor Hammer is there, it's kind of unplayable, right?
Quite a bit
CS
unplayable.
battle. Udi didn't get the 9.
Bottom, Tippy and Gonzo at it again.
Yep. Just continuous back and forth with these two supports. Outside
I mean, they
of the
both started
lane.
6 Tango, so I'd imagine they were prepared for some heavy trading.
Yep.
I will say
Gonna
top.
prevent pulls from coming out.
Oh,
We lost. I
blood.
was about to say the top. I caught him falling over.
nice.
I had actually just jumped up there because I was gonna say I don't know how aggressive that they were gonna be able to do with the 2 heroes staying in their tower, but I think the Witch Doctor was stepping up through the trees and got slammed down by the. Yep, there it is. Avalanche toss.
Yeah,
Scored
all spells
first.
used. It doesn't have toss yet, but Avalanche into Scorched Earth
Oh yeah.
is a killer.
I mean, yeah, Scorched Earth's got pretty huge buffs in recent patches, right? Making Doom feel a lot better to play. I mean, the damage that you do while you're chasing is really nuts, especially once you hit level 3, 2 points in it, almost doubles its damage, so. Doom, who normally wasn't considered that strong of a laner, kind of starts to feel a lot better in recent patches. We'll see if he like finds a Harpy Stormcrafter or something. That's been a pretty popular thing. It's happening. You get 3 mangas or 6 mangas and you devour a Harpy and spam lightning bolt people. It's a lot of aggression on
I
distance.
might be.
Yeah,
going
Tiny
down.
going low, PA low as well. Lamont staggered
Falls.
finish off.
I don't think Station's gonna be able to do anything about that. I know he's trying to step forward to get a little damage onto PA, but nothing on cooldown.
Yeah, with the wand, PA has plenty of HP to be able to step back, heal up.
And this is gonna be the annoying thing for Parker to deal with in this lane. I mean, OD is going to mana like no other, but every time you step forward to get any sort of last hit, he's just gonna get banished.
Yeah, and you imagine it gets worse with levels, right? The more levels in W, the more painful it is. You could see her going for a range up or something to try to ease the pressure of the W spam.
It's not even just
A little
the
bit.
damage that. Yeah, the damage is not really even what it is. It's just like the fact that you're losing out on the creep. You're about to get that last hit, and then he vanishes, the dies.
Gonzo at level 2, making the walk over to mid,
If you stay,
the harass monster.
Yep.
Does
Monster
feel the
gets
Monster
bounty
water
did take
rune.
a small trip to steal the Dire bounty at 3 minutes, so a
he's
little bit more region coming out
might
from
be around to pop the. Ooh. A little jump forward to keep the clarity running.
So
You know,
Lunox is getting run at top. They don't have Avalanche though. I'm not sure if this is going to continue. Oh, Melodic misses. That's unfortunate.
Nice bait there. We'll call it that.
Yep. Any like if you look at the last of the nights, does any of this surprise you? I think Zeus Ember pretty Ember favored. Once more levels come in, I mean,
I think
he
it's
doesn't have
pretty
a stick.
standard.
Surprisingly, like normally you get a stick in Zeus is like super high value, but doing fine without it. Photo region. That's
Yeah,
always
30
kind of
last
strong.
hits, 5 denies on Ember to Zeus's 22-0. So
I think that's, you know, pretty normal because he's have to use most of his mana to get really any of that done. I mean, he's got decent right clicks, but actually, he has a higher right click than Ember does. I didn't realize that.
yeah, but I think Ember is
He's getting some of his
attack
items in though.
animation is going to be still favorable. Zeus low on mana now. Dog jumping in under tower. Zeus has to leap away. The slows.
Remnant
Guess is
forward, but
wrong.
Remnant not gonna
Remnant's
connect.
forward.
what a juke.
Yeah.
Nice play. As Naga gonna be showing on a ward jungling since level 4, so probably that's a curious decision, right? Normally you don't really want to farm jungle until you have at least like 3 points in illusions, 2 on Riptide.
Yeah, and we weren't seeing a ton of harass on the Naga from the Styre offlane of Ninja Panda and Gonzo.
No, but I think a
So-
big portion of that does come through is there's 10 denies in the OD. And that comes
true.
from just stepping forward, vanishing, and
Gonzo's still on level 2, having played pretty much this entire game in the Radiant Jungle.
they're going on distance once again. He should fall to Maledict charges.
He's trying to
not,
juke
then
around
he
division a little bit, gets a toss up,
Yep.
but gonna
Dagger
die to the
finally finds
Maledict.
it. Hippie in now,
That's
Root
Maledict.
on the PA, falling low. Oh, and the
for it.
Zeus ult finishes
Oh,
it off.
Thunder God.
Who's fault now?
Well, as Meteor Hammer's finished on the OD bottom, I mean, the CM TP'd away, does not go. Nice man to dodge.
Oh.
That was clean.
That is the one. If you don't banish the right or the hero between Manta and Mirror Image, you can kind of dodge out of it. If they don't
I mean,
time it
with the
perfectly.
level 4 Astral, I don't think it's possible anymore since the cast time is so long in the mirror image. But this time around, gonna get the illusion dodge on it. Feels good, man. Get to farm this double wave for a while longer, but I imagine this is where you would opt to leave, right? As a Naga, you can't really lane against the mirror hammer. You kind of have to drop the tower. And the CM has no TP, so she's gonna be quite fragile. Although
Yeah.
CM did just run down, so it might look at something. Oh,
Cookie comes out early, with the Meteor Hammer connects. And the Scatter Blast for the slow, and Sanity's Eclipse
Sanity's
finishes
Eclipse
off
shut
the
off.
Saga.
So here's an idea that I've kind of been tinkering with a little bit for this game. Is I know that Manta is a hugely important item here, but what if you just were to pick up a defusal at some point in time? Oh,
Nice kill on Zeus.
the only thing about the
Station rotates and
out.
drops Doom.
I don't
Movement
know
speed
if
on
it could be
Ember, I
a-
think he's just going to be able to walk this off.
he might be able to walk it off, but does he take out to the
Maybe.
Doom?
He might
Oh,
take out.
he-
Oh, surely
He's
someone
gonna
TP'd
take
in
out
for the
Doom.
Tyler. Yeah,
Nice!
nice.
Well played.
Love to see it.
Little Bok Chiller.
Yo. I mean, that is value TP, right? That dude's gonna be feeling kinda sad about that one. Yep, the tip comes out
Yup.
from the Ember. Very nice.
There's that.
Unfortunately, he couldn't get a remnant out, so he'll still have to TP, but... I mean, yeah, that denying that is really cool. Also, I just wanted to point out, as a kind of a lull in action, when you're playing Naga, just as a PSA for everyone watching, you never want to group your illusions in threes because camps only use spells if there's 3 or more units around the camp. So if you're looking at what the Naga is doing right now, you'll want to group your illusions in pairs of 2. Just as a policy, that's nothing.
Unless it's these ogres. I mean, the ogre bruiser just drops his
I mean,
freaking
ogres
hammer down.
will cast anyway, but you like if you're playing as like if your jungle's like a Hellbear or like a Centaur, you need to split your illusions into pairs so they don't smash. It's especially important against like Thunderhides, because Thunderhides have like a 250 damage nuke as Weavers. As top lane, a little bit
Bottom
of that.
lane.
Oh, double
You
kill.
can kill
no,
the bottom
the
lane.
zap.
If he was getting taken down by Ninja Panda.
Oh, that's a value Thunder Gods. You love to see it.
I
you
got
look
the
one
bottom
shot,
kill.
multiple people die. Yeah.
I had the top kill on my screen. I don't think was Monster engaged with either of those heroes.
No,
Was that both just cleaning up other fights?
cleaning up other fights. Tippy was battling it out with the with Gonzo. Yeah.
Yeah, and then top lane, Station was kind of running down bok choy, so yeah, I mean, it happens. Oh,
The interrupt for
not enough to save though.
so yeah, Monster goes down to the chains.
Distance should
I mean, there's a DD. This is might be in trouble actually. Oh, as
yeah,
TP runs in forward.
Tippy also needs.
Panda taking the tower damage.
Oh, getting blocked by your Witch Doctor. Nice support
Thanks
value.
for playing Dota 2.
Makes it up.
Oh my gosh. Able to walk it out though. I mean, hey,
That's a
hey.
DM tip within the team, I think, for the blocks. But
No.
kept
He
the
was
OD
trying to
alive
pet
with
it.
the
That's
heals.
the heals. What do you mean? It's like I kept
Okay,
you
but the
alive
heals
that
wouldn't have
fight.
been
Remember that?
necessary if the OD could just get out from under the tower.
Yeah, but it looks so much better in the stat game at the end.
It's true. It's true. Rather than Panda playing with fire in the form of tower damage again is gonna safely lock it out here.
We catch out.
We'll see
at
if
least the
Bookman
Witch
can make it out. They
Doctor.
still have
I-
Avalanche, so
He will not make it out.
yeah, that's gonna drop the Witch Doctor. As Snapfire is level 3. I wonder who took the term if the term has dropped yet.
11
I mean,
minutes. So
it looks like they gave it to
they're
the Witch Doctor.
Hey, you need that level 6 in the Witch Doctor to get those early kills, you know?
Yeah, I mean, do you think this changes their like skirmishing power at all? I mean, it's kind
Not
of
at all.
a little bit, but not too much.
Dominating,
I mean, you'd love to have Snapfire ult at this point, as Doom comes down just as the tower falls on the Ember Spirit once again.
He's just gonna be able to walk this one off.
Yeah, Ninja Panda at lower health, but able to Astral and step away. I think he might get a little damage, but not close enough for their...
Okay, so Panda's doubling back for the Midas. That's pretty interesting. Normally you see just like a straight hammer blink or like hammer BKB, but I mean the way this is going so far, I mean he's gonna have a lot of time to kind of get value out of his Midases. Stole the arcane rune, but might pay for his life.
Let's get banished out. There's 4 heroes here.
Oh, the seems like hit by as well.
Two of them.
Next, Tippy now jump forward from
What a
Cookie,
cookie.
and 2 go down. So 10 to 5 on the kills now. In
And this is where
Tape's Tree
Sapphire starting to
Tango's
catch back up
favor.
on Hellas a little bit.
Ninja Panda now rotating up top, gonna Astral away the Zeus. Go down the Meteor Hammer and Gary with the dagger. Funds the crit and finds the kill. That's gonna be not quite Battle Fury finish on the PA. We got most of those components arriving now.
Naga does have the Yasha finished up, but not quite the Manta. It's still quite a bit of money off from that. Still needs both
Yeah,
and
she's
the rest.
been having a little bit of a rough game. I mean, it's kind of hard to farm this game. Like, I mean, her lane was pretty rough because she has to vacate it so early, so definitely slowed down quite a bit. As top lane seemed to fall as well. So this is Radiant's worst control gone now.
Yeah. All 3 Tier 1 towers gone on the Radiant side, all 3 still standing for the Dire.
I think if they're able to draw this out for another 30 minutes, the Naga will be able to come out, but the pressure is really building.
Okay, but if they stall for 30 minutes, does the PA not just instantly win the game?
I don't think so. I think Naga's a stronger carry.
You think Naga outscales? From my personal experience, like, it feels really awkward to play Naga into PA just because her shard kind of one-shots all your Illies, right? I mean, you can keep spawning them, but if PA gets a Tanic, it's kind of hard to like stand there and hit just because she does so much damage. But we'll see what happens because depending on the PA's itemization, it could like make or break this carry matchup.
I'm also
you
very
can
low
see
skill
him
player, so it's
farming.
really easy to play around PA.
Oh, they found the Naga. Oh, Zeus is gonna cancel
He's
this
backing
hammer,
out,
right?
but stuck around just
Got
long
cancel.
enough. Cancel on the Meteor
Let's
Hammer
trade
with
that
the
one out.
Lightning Bolt. Able to jump
Yeah, I
away.
mean this triangle is just completely gone, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. The amount of pressure that Dire has at this point means even if they are stalling and getting Naga away, she's not finding the farm.
As Jay Harris has 2 Desolators queued up right now. Very awesome.
Naga is about 1k behind the PA right now. And that's not where you want to. You need to be ahead of the PA at this point in time, but...
If you're not ahead of the item, like power scaling, it's definitely a lot harder. But part of the power of Naga in the early game is like making the map really uncomfortable to play because he just farms so many plays with the Ulus, right? But she hasn't really had a chance to do that just because of how the map has been played so far. When she's been farming in really passive areas, and I mean, there's just so much vision that if she tries to do any kind of aggressive positioning, it's really easy to catch her out, even with the song.
And on top of it, I mean, the Zeus didn't have a really good game either. And I think it was kind of on him to really be the one to... I mean, the mid's the one who has to relieve most of the pressure. I mean, get aggressive, but...
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you pick Zeus for that role, right? And Zeus is not really the hero that kind of... He has the range wave clear, but he's also playing as Ember, who finds it really easy to dive on him. You don't really have a great support door that can help you relieve that pressure, right? So
the
he definitely has a big burden to carry on his shoulders, and I mean, he'll kind of have to go for a lot of defensive items this game if he is able to.
Ninja Panda with catch in the bot lane on the station. That's the Astral Meteor combo. Station walking away at half health. Both supports in the area for the Dire. Station's gonna take you away.
Yep. Fortunately, one of the heroes that really can't kill is Doom. So definitely feels pretty good to be able to tank that.
Yeah, and your Doom's top of the net worth right now, despite the lead that Extreme Tango has. So,
I mean, Devour might as well do that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We are looking at a bit of an inflated
net worth?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the power of Doom, right? It's like, even with limited space, with Devour Minus, you can get so much gold out of it that it doesn't really feel too bad for him specifically. It's just that the other cores are gonna have such a difficult game because there's just not enough places to farm. As Zeus is like hard
going
to like
try to get super aggressive with this BKB timing. It's about 30 seconds, I think, away from pulling it out. Depending if he get his, I think one more Devour should get him enough gold.
Alright, so something interesting, Station was queuing up the Shivas, gonna opt for the BKB. It could help, but it might be a little bit awkward just because no one else has kind of hit their timing, right? So, I mean, if they can try to find some kind of fights with the BKB, it could be really massive as well. Gonna look for the ensnare, but Rudy's a little bit too fast.
Oh, now they're gonna get closed in on the Song, farther away than they thought. Song's not gonna find anything. Jay Harry is gonna back away.
Let yourself get carried away.
As the voice line for Rudy.
So, not finding anything on that smoke gank. That does push Dire back a bit, so it gives them a little more space to play with. Gets them a little more control into their jungle and triangle. Now their reverse smoke coming out.
A counter smoke.
Ninja Panda leading the charge, and they're gonna find Parker right away. Turn towards the Tiny instead.
Nope. I don't know if they saw him at first.
So the Astral, here comes the Borderless Kisses off the back. To be the first to go down, distance not far behind. Ember moves forward, trying to find a catch on the Nagasire, and they'll be able to get away.
Did hit
so
slight change up. I don't know if he would want it to jump forward though.
On the Naga has Manta, so.
I mean, you could force them.
You can force the Manta, but I mean, it's like whatever.
I know it's not a lot, but it's like half her mana pool at that point in time.
Yeah, you know Song's down.
And you would imagine she would just base, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess you come back to do Roche either way. It's just, again, low skill. We just gotta take we gotta make sure everything's like super in our favor.
Dire making pretty quick work of Roche off of the smoke gank on.
And they're gonna run right back into Naga.
Yep.
Well, as a Naga, ooh.
Oh, jump forward. No battery though, so kind of scares the Naga.
That one. But it does
Just a
reveal
little
to the Doom that he's being hunted a little bit, so you can just walk off and TP out.
The dire glyph is now.
Yeah, I was gonna wait until they TP'd out and then set forward to Doom, potentially.
I think it's they're probably gonna be looking to bottom tower right now, just with the vision they have set up there.
Oh, easily the bottom tower.
Yep. Notice Distance spending a lot of time up on the top side, slow sieging this tower.
And this does feel really bad with the Doom. I mean, you saw him just take out the large camp. Well, Naga's farming the ancient camp, and now she's got to wander all the way over to the dire jungle before any more creeps.
On the plus side there, this is like the one area that Dire doesn't have water, and this is the one area where illusions can invade to, Dire outpost from at least. She can kind of clean through this side of the map really fast and kind of sack a couple of structures bottom side, but this is a rough position to be in for sure.
Tiny's efforts does secure that top tier 1 first tower for the Dire. But on the opposite side of the map, the first tier 2 goes down on the Radiant side. So they'll trade those towers, not a trade you'll love to get, but when you're falling behind, you'll take it. Like you're saying, gives them some space to play with for Parker to farm on this Naga Siren.
May have stepped a little bit too far up. I mean, he does have Aegis still, but gets
More
his
Whiskas
fall.
has come out to protect PA's retreat.
The tower is under attack.
Imagine Boxy will just a little bit of healing. It's gonna chill.
Does want a song.
Let's see if a tip comes out this time on the hill.
Here comes the song onto 3, so good
4 now. The
potential
4.
start. Yep.
Oh!
Use the ult from Tippy. They're gonna find 2.
Might
Right
be
off
able
the
to
bat.
get down. There's
the
Aegis down.
Tippy goes
The
down.
Parker is
just
falling very
absolutely
low.
tearing up this backline there.
Yeah, Ember forcing
save.
Parker to retreat.
Although
Now he's caught
jumping
under tower
very
with stuns and the lightning bolt. So a great
Faded.
fight from Radiant there. Only losing the CM to get 3 plus an Aegis. So that ends up being an excellent setup for a team fight out of the Naga side.
A wonderful song called Foiker
Oh,
the
no!
Jesus.
Gonzo
Completely separated.
doesn't go up the high
It
ground.
looked so awkward, right? It looked so awkward because Udi was getting gone on by the CM, and the CM like pressed ult and everything, and the initial burst has got countered by the song, but they managed to still have enough damage with the later part of the premium field, avatars, and then they dropped the Doom as well, so Udi ended up not being able to get that many spells off him. This just wasn't enough damage. You can see Dog tried to kind of overcompensate for that by diving really deep, but couldn't find a Naga kill, got caught on the tier 3s, and a really, really nice fight for...
That's really good that you need your Naga back to the game here.
Yeah, exactly what Catz was looking for.
She's still got a ways to go,
that's a
but
Reaver.
gonna opt for the heart, which
I think
is
it's a good idea. Get the really
Kind
tank
of
the illusions. Although I feel like the Scotty may have been a better pickup right here.
yeah, is what I'm thinking. Right, you want something to give you tankiness, but
But yeah,
I mean,
and
either one,
Scotty
either
gives
way,
you
they
tank.
kind of fulfill the same role. But Scotty's
Yeah.
just feels a little bit better with the slur, and the stats let you funk that a little bit faster.
I'm gonna make a bad suggestion, and you guys can tell me why it's bad. But could you get away with a Naga Radiance here?
No, because you just don't have the space to make use of it, and also
You have so much magic damage.
not
in
that
your
she's
team.
playing bad, but with the way she's microing the illusions, I wouldn't want to build Radiance just because it relies on you controlling all 4 illusions separately to put them into different spaces, but
Okay.
with the way
Also-
she's been grouping them, not exactly worth the Radiance build.
You also have so much
Mainly it's
magic
just the
damage
temper,
already.
like, you just don't have the time to do it, and you're gonna be way too squishy.
There's just a lot of magic damage from your team also already. So once the BKBs come out, that they're going to come out, it makes it just a little awkward.
Yeah.
This should be
Yeah, you got BKB on the courier now for Phantom Assassin.
BKB's coming out for Outworld Devour or Destroyer. Still calm Devour.
We get an Avalanche onto Ninja Panda. We'll get the turn in Astral. Monster gets the ult, and now the Doom onto OD. Outworld Destroyer gonna go down.
Kill. They do get the Phantom Assassin out though, and that's the important one.
It's so annoying that this OD hero got renamed. Honestly.
I know. I just keep calling him Devour, and it's Destroyer.
Yep.
Yeah. Is he? Because his like Dota 1 name wasn't Outworld Devourer. Was that Destroyer? Like, did they bring
Obsidian
back the old
Destroyer.
name?
It was Obsidian Destroyer, then
Destroyer.
Outworld Devourer.
So this is his
Yeah,
third
I
new
think so.
name.
Yeah. If I recall
Next
correctly,
one,
yeah.
next one we're gonna get the Obsidian Devour.
Oh god.
Dota 3-1.
Alright, you've got Ags being worked on from Zeus. Pretty classic build.
I think it's super important in this game too, just to cancel out the Snapfire kisses.
Yep. Gives you a good answer to that. And
The only
just
thing
gives
I'm
you a
just
lot more
scared of is there's no defensive item on any of. I mean, there's a tiny Yules, but like both the CM and the Zeus don't really have a defensive item. And there's a PA with BKB right now, so this is kind of her timing to go. And I mean, it could get really scary for the Zeus as long as they find him. Like, oh, they're gonna get 2 banishes off.
Yeah. So
Monster gonna be the first to go down out of this smoke gank, and now distance will fall as well.
it was kind of an awkward start to that fight. Is like Panda steps out, and you just see 3 heroes just standing looking at each other for a second, and none of them do anything. So Destroyer ends up just getting both bandages off. It was really confusing for me that nobody did anything for about 3 seconds.
It definitely happens. Like, it's like the amount of panic you go through, and like, OD just randomly shows up on top of you. You're like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
But
Let me finish this
that
creep
kind
camp.
of
I don't know if maybe it was on cooldown, but if he would have heavily jumped forward at all, he would have been out of
probably could
vision.
have made it out of that. Yeah.
Got tier 3 neutrals coming out now. Dire finding some of theirs pretty quickly as J. Harry's Targaryen actually finds a stacked ancient neutral on the Radiant side of the.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's start getting passed around.
The dangers of
Is under attack.
farming that. And do you expect the Scotty to come out next for the Naga? She doesn't. Oh, looks like they're going Orchid instead.
That hard already.
Yeah, Orchid makes a lot of sense. You are doing it into the Ember Lincolns, but I mean, they kind of don't have good lockdown for the Ember, right? And he's been having a really good game with just being able to jump back on, so it will help a little bit with that. I might have preferred to get a Scotty just to kind of combat this PA, right? Because you need all the stats you can get in this matchup, I think. And also, like, you know, it helps you so much against the Ember, kind of just sliding your illusions down.
And not even just that, but like then you have like the wait. Does it? I'm sometimes mixing up patches as to which items do which. Isn't it? Does Scotty still reduce heals?
Yep.
It does, but at the same time, like, all the cores kind of play away from the Wish Doctor, right? So I don't think you're really accounting for the voodoo too much.
No,
Yeah,
but
they
it'd be
do
more
have
of like the. I mean, I'm
The PA lifesteal? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, no life steal yet on the PA. It actually has Ag Shard and Scepter to keep up.
The Phantom Strike lifesteal, I think, is I'm just trying to think about it. I don't think it's worth getting solely for the lifesteal, but
well, it's not just for that, just because it gives you the stats plus.
this
It's
is
just kind of like a nice.
It's mainly the stats.
bonus.
It's mainly the
Yeah,
stats.
okay.
Yeah.
Is under attack.
You kind of don't really think about the W lifesteal too
Tower
much.
is under
The
attack.
second spell lifesteal.
Now, I was definitely looking at.
Gets set up on OD, and Tibby jumps in. Is going to get immediately brought down. You got AoE Doom now. PA able to BKB back away.
Is under attack.
Song comes out. They're going to potentially try to re-engage here, or just use that to disengage.
These is more disengaged there.
Yep, able to step away, having only lost the CM, so not too bad. Although now Zeus caught out with the roots. Vanish finishes him off. OD wanted that kill.
I guess.
And PA will finish off distance as well, and then the tier 2 tower goes down.
So we talked about it a little, like we were about to start to talk about this a little bit earlier on, but I was asking about an earlier diffusal blade from the Naga, and I think somebody's about to tell me why that was really bad. Why is that really bad?
Okay. I'll ask you this instead. So what do you think the diffusal would offer the Naga here? Like, is it catch? Is it like the mana burn? Like, what is the advantage of building diffusal? Because the issue with it is it delays your tanky stat items that you need, right? She still needs Heart Scotty. And my issue with it earlier was you don't really have the time to build it, and it doesn't feel that good.
PA is going to bring him down. PA now getting slowed, but he's going to get caught first. Ninja Panda falling low with the ult will fall. Now Monster caught out, and Ember deep in onto Parker. Nets come out to try to hold Dog down. It'll dodge back in, and now PA going to work on the Naga. The one last crit does it. Station in now. They get the avalanche on PA. Toss away to try to keep Doom alive.
They do get the
Doom
kill.
goes down, but they get the kill on PA. Stun from Gonzo, and the Chains Dog just continuing to throw these slights out from outside the base. The toss on Gonzo gets the space distance, almost goes down due to the scatter blast. Oof. Surprisingly eventful little end to that fight there. And ends up being 3 heroes dead on either side. Though
Did that poor Naga just got dagger bashed? Oh, that was tragic.
It feels really bad doing that.
Yep. Cross forward, Gonzo in distance. Playing a little bit of chicken here, and distance will be the one to win with the avalanche to catch the Snapfire. There's also 2 buybacks from the Radiant there, so definitely a dire favored fight. On top of the middle barracks getting taken down somewhere amidst all of that chaos.
I don't think Tiny's the worst here, though, to hit some of these kills on, just because he can transition over to this, a bit of a carry at least. Game going, later games goes, I mean, he's able to get some of the items that a core would normally be getting.
Specifically the Ag's Daedalus, right, is like the tree volley crits with the Truther can do a lot of work. Especially to kind of more squishy heroes, especially like the backliners and the UD. You kind of won't have the health to survive it.
Yeah, that honestly, more than the Naga, might be, if Sync Catz can stretch this game out as long as possible, it could very well be the Tiny coming online that pushes them over the edge.
Yeah, because part of the things that they'll be lacking in the late game is a lot of damage scaling, right? And a lot of that damage scaling comes from the Tiny Daedalus, but he kind of does have to build it, like, he has to start going for it now, unless he's counting getting Ag Blessing on the 3rd rush, because he is running out of item slots now. He already has 2 defensive items, and this is kind of where he needs to start building the Daedalus or the Ag if he wants to opt for that as well. He's getting a slight change into the bash. Great mirror, dead. Right, nice. Is that his buyback? He doesn't have it. Oh, yeah,
yes.
That's Tiny buyback.
Tiny bought back that last engagement. So that's going to be trouble for St. Catz as takes Treaty Tango picks up their 2nd Eclipse.
A little
I wonder if
bit.
he did put the shard on. Already has shard, but I don't know if he was the one that was given to. I mean, both supports also have it, so.
I think Witch Doctor more than likely bought theirs.
Witch Doctor and Snap, I know both had it earlier.
Yeah, they did.
Those are very standard build shards for both heroes. I'm not positive if the PA already had hers. I don't think she did.
PA already had hers. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she had hers before.
Narrowing it down, I think it was the OD.
It was the OD, yeah.
Ember finding Monster out alone here. Monster tries to stand up. knowing they didn't really have another option. Once jumps out, you're not going to get a TP play against Ember. That's Zeus now down 2, also without buyback.
Yeah, they are gonna start hitting the high ground top. Making quick use of those pickoffs. They got a lot of pressure. The Banishers missed the Naga, but gonna do a lot of damage to the ears. So.
Oh, the bash into the crits! Naga almost going to go down. The BKB Glimmer Cape not enough to save as Sanity's Eclipse comes out. So Naga's dead. Does have buyback available. Distance is back up on the Tiny, but it's going to be really hard to defend this tower without your Naga Siren.
I don't know if you want to buy back. You might just have to let this one go.
Yeah, it's a hard buyback.
No, I think you let this go. I mean,
this one's going to jump forward, get the Avalanche.
It's still so hard.
Now, the ults from the supports coming up. Mortimer's Kisses in Freezing Field. That just kind
they
of
get the P
pushes
pretty
down.
low, but she has the Titanic now, so...
Yeah, and still has the Aegis, so she jumps
Speaking
forward
of-
onto Monster. But the turn, the burst is enough, so that'll be the Aegis.
Nice Banish!
Not yet.
Oh, no,
She
Banish
banished
saved.
away, yeah.
Yeah. Really
It
good
looked like
save
she was
from
dying,
the-
but it was just the banishment.
Yeah, we gotta love Valve not showing the ODW.
Yeah. And now Distance gets caught out.
I mean, yeah, that's another 70 seconds with no buyback.
Yep.
And
They're doing a little bit of bashing onto the Naga again.
Yeah, Naga getting low, gonna get banished up.
there's the Doom that comes out from station. But
Yeah, AoE Doom now on the backline. That does give Naga the space to get out and stay.
I think you're like just super okay with that though.
Yeah, you've still got Siege Tree hitting. Another Doom. Enough to tail end of the Doom. As now 2 more will fall. Naga has to buy back.
I don't think it's enough though.
I'd imagine they nope out of this one pretty soon. Now, 30k lead.
Yep.
Yeah, GG called.
GG called. It takes Tree to Tango. It will take game 1 of this best of 2 group stage series.
And see, this is why I don't draft my team, you know? I was calling out, I like the Naga, but, you know, it
I'm
was...
curious
a bit
why
too
you like
green.
the Naga here. I'm
I
curious what your
just think
thoughts
it's such a strong hero that, really, I mean, especially, I'm also low skill, that you can just basically just sit a Naga in a jungle and run illusions down lane, and it, like, implodes most low skill players.
Yeah, I think
That's fair.
there's a lot of games that can go that way for Naga, but in this one, Takes Tree to Tango just had plenty of answers in the form of AoE damage and control that the Naga wasn't a huge issue. Also, the Naga really never got the opportunity to just sit in a jungle because there was so
The
much
rotations.
pressure with this OD3, Ember 2, and support duo of Witch Doctor and Snapfire that there was very little jungle to sit in for the Radiant side. A lot of space made for the PA. A lot of pressure generated by all of these heroes. And never able to find the space to get back in it for Sync Catz and the Naga Siren.
Because the idea I was having is that you'd have the Doom Tiny roaming around, just causing a little bit of chaos with the Zeus ult. Now, this is, I think, probably the same thought process coming out from Sync Catz. You have the Doom Tiny running around, frontlining with the Doom and the Avalanche Toss, getting a couple kills on the squishier heroes, like potentially early PA, Witch Doctor, and then potentially Ember or OD. And then obviously you have the Zeus ult to back them up, and occasionally you can follow them around with the Lightning Bolt. And then once you get DM ult, that's usually pretty decent if they cast all their stuns on other heroes, doing a pretty good amount of damage if they're locked in.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue is, like, I feel like they had a plan, and obviously the Zeus had some impact with the ults, especially in the early game, but it's just very static, right? I mean, Zeus can't really move, so his impact is limited to a high cooldown nuke. The CM's, like, really squishy, and she's also kind of bound to defending lanes with the Zeus, because there's so much tower pressure from the Meteor Hammer. And then Doom, he's kind of a hero that wants to kind of sit, farm, he gets Midas, he gets BKB Shivas, and then that's when he feels good going in. So they're kind of waiting for this like 15 to 20 minute timing where Naga gets 2 items, Doom gets a couple, and then that's when they can go right. But there's so much early pressure from this meter hammer and from this Ember pick that they never really had the time, and eventually it's a greedy draft, right? And there's so little space when you're kind of restricted to your tier 2 and you don't really have a jungle for your Naga to play in. So I mean, it was a really well executed game from Take 3 to kind of have the vision prepared to be able to invade, take control, and most importantly, maintain control. Because there were definitely times where, because Zeus is so good at dewarding that, their deep vision is kind of under threat, but they did a really good job of making sure to smoke in defenders' areas and kind of just occupy all the space that Catz wanted to have. So yeah, all the cores end up being very deprived of farm. You can see the Doom doing well, but I mean, when your Naga Zeus are bottom 2 net worth over the cores, it feels really, really hard to play the game.
It does. Now, the draft I was talking, it would have required a different skill build coming out from Monster. It would not have been a good draft, like the best, but it would have really helped with the mobilities. You go less the Arc Lightning, more Lightning Bolt, Heavenly Jump. Reduces your ability to farm creeps, but definitely increases your ability to, 1, get around the map, 2, chase people down. And that's kind of what I mean.
It just feels weird, right? Because then who are you playing around?
That's what I was saying. You'd have to play around the Doom, Tiny, Zeus, those 3.
Yeah, I think there's a world where Catz draft has that kind of roaming force early game pressure from those group of heroes. But there's just too much more of that same thing from Take 3 Tango's draft. I mean, so in a different draft, it could work out that way. In this draft, I think it was.
I mean, honestly, I just really love this Ember pick. I mean, I think this Ember pick kind of threw such a huge spanner into the works.
Oh, for sure.
I could imagine if this was more like kind of immobile mid hero, that this Tiny has a field day. You know, his Doom's never really threatened in his top lane unless he majorly messes up, and then you know something that gives his Tiny a lot more room to play. But with the Ember, you know, he kind of just presses 1 button, and then as soon as the avalanche is over, he just remnants away, right? So, I mean, a lot of the Zeus's impact in this lane where he can be this lane boy with the Lightning Bolt build is kind of neutered just because of the Ember pick. So I think this Ember was really, really strong. If they're going to play this style of draft again with the roaming 4, I would imagine they want to kind of look at banning away some of these mobile mid heroes like, you know, Ember, Void Spirit, just to kind of enable that a little bit more.
And again, this is just my 2 cents on why they may have picked what they picked, and kind of what I was looking at with the draft. And it wasn't even
definitely
necessarily
has an idea, right? It just Take 3 kind of was able to read that idea and play around it in a way that made it very, very hard for them to play the game they wanted to play.
Hey, if I can read it, they can read it easier. In all reality, though, you know, my idea was more of like not even necessarily getting kills, but like just causing rotations to go towards the 3 of them playing together. That it gives that Naga that free area in the jungle to just send illusions down lane while she eats creeps in the jungle. But obviously they were not able to do that one.
Yeah, I mean it was quite rough. I mean, in terms of like adjustments for the draft, what are you kind of looking at? Do you think? I mean, obviously there's one suggestion with the
That's greed.
You know, kind of trying to enable this roaming 4 like Tiny a little bit more. What else are you kind of looking at? For instance, like maybe a more active mid hero.
Yeah,
because this is kind of known to be quite not passive, but not really a hero that runs around the map the same way like an Ember or like a Spirit hero does.
I think even if you wanted to keep the Zeus, you could replace the Tippy hero with something a little bit more active. I know they banned out his Disruptor, but you know, maybe if they would have gotten the Witch Doctor themselves, I know it was first picked, but you know, a hero like that, something where you could get a little bit more active earlier.
Yeah, I'd love to see something more active than the Doom as well. Like, pretty much all 4 of those heroes, Doom, Zeus, Tiny, and CM, they all have good potential to be part of an early ganking, moving, map pressure creating like 4 Protect 1 setup, but none of them do enough, and like there's no big team fight. There's plenty of damage, but there's not like
To
a
me,
big
it's
catch
like
team fight.
yeah,
And
it feels like they're one component of a kill squad, but none of them can like. It's like mismatched puzzle pieces, right? They
yeah,
don't really play together the way that you want them to.
it's like 4 backup singers, and you were missing the lead to be
Yeah,
the
exactly,
one
exactly.
that makes
They
the
kind of
initial
need
jump,
that
gets the
somewhere.
big catch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw something out to see maybe if this would have worked out a little bit better. It would have been ultra greedy still, but instead of the Doom, maybe playing a Enigma. I know you're still waiting around these big cooldowns.
No, I think Enigma is a lot higher tempo than Doom, right? I mean, you still have auras. You can go the Blink Melodic build that's been really popular, like with the Shard as well. So I actually think that's a pretty good suggestion. I mean, it also shows up a little bit of the team fight that they were missing. It probably would have worked a lot better than the Doom, I think, in this type of draft. But yeah, I'm gonna be back for 1 minute. I'm just gonna get a water bottle, and then we'll probably go for the next game.
Yeah, I'll take a quick break here as well, and we'll be back in a moment.
All right. Well, I'll be here. I'm going to go through the scoreboard a little bit for any of those watching through my stream. If Odie Hammer, actually right around the time that he bought Hanamitis, and the Mjolnir came out for Ember Spirit, that's where they were able to kind of like ramp up everything they were able to do.
Okay, so Syncat's gonna opt for. Sorry, Takes Tree is gonna opt for second pick. As a professional lobby creator, is going to do a second coin toss. Yep.
That's how I
They
prefer
do
to do it.
choose the Radiant team again for this
5 seconds.
there.
We'll see what they like if there's any adjustments. If I recall correctly, Razor was not touched at all in the last draft, right?
Correct.
Not at all.
Okay, so
It was
same
kind of
first
hiding
2
them.
bans very quickly, Disruptor and Tusk, but now we get the OD banned by Catz.
I think it was an important early game tempo creator.
For sure.
10 seconds.
Yep. Especially with that meter hammer, right? I mean, it still causes so much
5
havoc.
seconds.
And yeah, they had the long range cancels for it, but it felt like they were never really together enough for that to matter between like the Tiny, Avo, and the Zeus. So
I think Tiny is a good band there too. Just kind of able to flex it between a couple different roles if they really wanted to. But the 4 more likely where it's going to be played again. It's a super active pickup.
10 seconds.
yeah, I'm very curious to see what they pick here. I mean, Witch Doctor seems to be like a WLD favorite, so
It's such a fantastic hero. It's got just a little bit of everything, damage, amplification with the Maledict, including burst. I mean, and it's incredibly strong. You can solo kill enemy carries with just 2 abilities right there. Then you have a stun, albeit a little bit unreliable. It is targeted. Cancel whatever you need to cancel. They go for the Lich instead.
What? They're gonna opt for the Lich? Okay. Not a common first pick, as you tend to want to pick up for the frost shield value against specific Fizz heavy drafts, but probably comfort hero above all. I mean, the laning is very strong as well, and it has the instant fear, so will kind of counter out some kind of like diving heroes, like an Ember that wants to dive in interfered. As Venge comes out, so that's a Lil Buxy special right there, actually. That is kind of hype.
Also, I think a really good counter to whatever Lich wants to do. I mean, if he drops his Spire ult on the carry hero he wants to kill, you just swap him out, and maybe you kill a Vengeful Spirit, but who cares if you kill a support,
Yeah. The only thing that might be an issue is trying to force this Venge combo too much. Like, normally she's known for being combo like Venge Drow or some kind of Fizz damage lineup, and that kind of is a little bit awkward playing against Lich. So I would like to see them not opt into that too much. As they're gonna opt for the Lina, which is yes, it's a Fizz damage hero, but also there's so much magic damage between the Maelstrom and your normal base abilities that this Lich is gonna be kind of paper.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, and this presents a very clear win condition, right? You have the Lina getting Maelstrom BKB, and then you kind of run into Roche. I mean, Venge helps you so much with that, and Lina already attacks incredibly fast, so there's a very clear condition here, and we're gonna have to see how Catz tries to kind of take advantage of this, maybe with an early carry pick, even something like
Razor.
If you prepare for a Void or an Ursa that can kind of address the threat of this Lina.
Yeah, Lina's a good flexible.
There's the Ursa.
Yeah, as they instantly snap at the Ursa.
Now,
I mean, Lich Ursa is such a strong lane as well, so
yeah.
If things look bad for like Ursa 1, would it potentially be seen as swapping over to the 3 role?
No, you just play Ursa 1 here. You just play Ursa 1.
But yeah, I think you definitely prefer it in the 1 by default.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, if they start really hard countering it, I don't know. I don't play carry.
Okay, so the thing with Ursa is that there's not too many things that make this hero unplayable, right? So you can kind of toss it against any 3, and it'll be fine. The thing is that, yes, Ursa gets kited, but if you're going to pick more range heroes, you're kind of like tripling or quadrupling down on this squishy backline, like 3-4 hero lineup, and that gets eaten up when Ursa gets BKB. So
yep, I was about
it's
to
definitely
say,
a little bit awkward because you now can't
here.
pick much of a tanky frontline without Fury Sights kind of eating that. But then also this Lina is going to be really fragile once Ursa gets blinked, so they have to find some way to pilot around this. As you can see, Viper Venom getting banned. They're the kind of things that help you kite the Ursa, so
Viper was the first thought for me when it came up, but I was like,
yeah, instantly banned, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Not gonna play against that.
Could
Razor's
they be
still in
banned
the poll,
out?
so
They do have Razor, but I think potentially that could be a 3rd ban out.
5 seconds.
Which, if it does get banned out, what would you feel is like a position 3 Bristleback?
Bristleback gets eaten by Ursa. It's
Okay.
really
Yeah, because
awkward.
of the stacking damage.
So they opted to not ban the Razor out, which I find kind of interesting. Ursa sometimes gets picked into Razor just because you can kind of burst him before he gets a lot of his Bloodstone damage out, but it's not very reliable, and they will kind of have to have more damage elsewhere if Stage 3 does secure the Razor here on 15.
Plus, you have like a little bit of a jump away for the static link, just get that little extra bit out of distance created. If you need to.
Yeah, once that happens, it's a lot easier to play the fight, but I mean, Razor does need a couple items before that feels good, and it depends a lot on their ability to play the lane, because the lane is kind of awkward against Lich. I mean, there's just so many slurs that it can be hard if there is a little bit of mishap from the Razor side.
Plus, you have the what's it? The overpower. I'm really bad with his abilities. Oh no, Furious.
The Ursa attack speed buff is overpower, yes.
No, the one that increases his damage.
Fury swipes.
Okay, that is Furious Swipes?
Yeah.
The passive? I thought Furious Swipes is the one that increases attack speed.
No, it's the other way around. Fury swipes is the damage increase, and overpower is the attack speed bonus.
Yep. See, I don't play these heroes. Yeah, okay, yeah, so that one right there. I mean, it gives you that little extra bit of damage. You really can't sap away. I mean, it's not much, but it is something.
It definitely becomes a lot more relevant the later on the game goes. As they're gonna opt for Mars, and I'm not sure how much I like this, because Mars in this lane is gonna feel absolutely horrible.
Yeah, Mars into Ursa is... Yeah, he's just gonna get torn apart. You get dragged in by the Lich, and then by
the one advantage I see to this so far... Sorry?
You get the spear
away.
away.
You can definitely spear away, but it's very uncomfortable. So, I mean, normally... What you would like to see the position 1 kind of get booted out, but Mars doesn't really represent a threat to the Ursa. So he's going to have a very free game, as they're going to double down on the single target with a Legion Commander pick. That...
I like
this Lina is going to not have much fun.
I can see this going really well or really poorly.
You can see this going poorly. They don't really have a way to adjust duel right now.
So it's more the way. Here's why I think it could go poorly. If they do get a couple of those like lucky early duels going the way of takes tree, then suddenly like the Lina has like plus 60 damage. You're just like, uh-oh. Like that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, if the Legion like stops thinking for like 5 minutes, yeah.
It's like a couple of bad duels just could really make things a little awkward.
Yeah. But the only thing is like, there is a danger, but right now Takes Tree is actually like, aside from the Lina, kind of presenting no damage. So we could kind of see the Lina kind of one-shot herself to Blade Mail. Even that would be pretty funny to see. I wonder if that will happen.
Sure.
Like Venge does a decent amount of damage even out of the support role,
and does naturally tank up.
To me, it's like I feel like Venge more buffs other people's damage rather than does it herself. Like she has magic missile, but
right, I'm thinking
it feels more like
off of the stun. Once you get shard, you're throwing like 2
yeah
damage nukes out. Yeah, and Mars can be an answer
in the pool still
for the duel.
But they're going to a lot of reserve time.
Actually, what the hell? Left in reserve time, yeah. For Catz, they offer the Skyrath, so that's a classic combo with the Legion. Just an absurd amount of single target from Catz.
Their team fight is sorely lacking there.
Yeah, they have nothing AoE right now.
10 seconds remain.
But man, if they find a hero, that hero is going to disappear.
Would a Snap? I think because I feel like Snapfire could be good here because Snap Mars is a good lane.
Snap Mars is excellent.
Snap Mars is a good lane, but you're playing Snap Mars into Ursa Lich, so
yeah,
it's like the combo is good,
but it offers you a little bit of
could still struggle. Is the only problem.
I could see it just like helping with the escape though. As you're running away, all the slows getting down, you just cook you away a little bit, just create a little bit of a gap.
Could be okay.
Yeah, and the Scatter Blast, Snap is good kite against an Ursa. And you have the built-in save for like the Skyrath ult. And you tend to go like 4 staff anyway. So
you think they drop kisses in the Legion and win a duel?
Yeah. They opt for a terrible
That's okay. Not sure how much I like that into Skyrath.
I was also feeling that exact same thing.
Because now there's a very real possibility to put the Skyrath mid, right? Like that's also possible. But I mean, I'd imagine they would probably want a better matchup against Lino. I mean, Sniper's already banned, but
I feel like Skyrath's not bad against Lina though. early on at least?
It's pretty awful. It's pretty awful.
Is it? Okay.
Because you get bullied really hard. Darius has really low base armor. Yeah, they have the same attack range, but leaner nukes feel a lot better. And then you kind of just get out right clicked, and you also get out right clicked in creeps. So it's really hard to play the lane.
Interesting.
Especially with water runes, like, yes, Darius is a lane bully, but with the addition of water runes, it's made heroes like him and Pop a lot less about bullying.
5
So,
seconds remain.
I mean, I
it
don't
can
hate
get
it
very
before
awkward to
either,
put
though.
Skyrim.
I mean, Terrorblade, high armor, low health. What does
Yep, and then
Skywrath like to do? Just nuke you down.
This is disgustingly bad.
I want to look at
Like-
this Slardar ban for Sync Catz, because that to me means they think there's a world where
10
Mars
seconds
is the
remain.
mid and Lena's
4 position.
4 probably.
5 seconds.
Um,
And I agree. Like, I think that could be a flex. Like, it's not good for them, but they might have to do it just because of how much single target threat there is against the Lena they're presenting right now. So I could easily see it being a thing. Also, it amps their fizz damage a lot, which is something that would help them a lot against the Ursa, and it gives them a lot harder of a roach timing with the TV metal.
I'm still
I
kind
mean,
of
like,
like
Slaughter
this
Ven just gotta
comparison.
eat that Rishon.
Yep.
I mean, the other thing they banned is Shadow Demon, which makes a lot of sense. Just because... Ooh, as they picked Kunkka for the
That's-
mid matchup.
Yeah,
But-
more like the mid right there.
I'd imagine, like, they could even look at something like Oracle here. I mean, they do really, really need a save, and
Yeah.
the one that they're probably looking at is banned outright, so...
10
Um,
seconds remain.
Dazzle's still there as well, which I almost...
5 seconds.
Because obviously does the
remain.
same kind of thing as Oracle, but then it's amping your physical damage, which you have a ton of.
Ember
It's
speaks.
Ember.
Oh, it is a Lena fall!
Make the
Wow.
ultimate choice.
So it's Lena 4, it is going to be Mars 3 still, yep, as Ninja Panda locks it in, and Dog will be reprising the Ember performance. So some very interesting things happening in the draft there, because I think that
Okay, but
must be in
Monster took the
response to
Skyrat, so it's a Skyrat Ember mid?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what
That's-
I really...
Distance
Really scary!
on the 4
Ember.
as well.
Hmm,
know how I
okay,
feel about
okay,
that
this
mid
is
setup.
interesting. You guys have any preference on the draft?
I have no idea.
Sync Cat's draft is really scary, but I tend to prefer a draft that has more team fight.
10 seconds.
And I think Sync Cat's is a little too into
5 seconds
the
remain.
single target. And with distance on the 4 Kunkka, you're not going to have Water Park as an option for getting yourselves more team fight for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. If at all.
Yeah. But Sync Cat's might be able to just run this game over
Yeah.
by catching people out and making the
Real
single
quick, who
target.
wins this mid matchup between Ember Spirit and Skywrath? Because
It's Ember favored 100%. Like,
I
you get
thought
level
so.
3, and the Skyrath can't lane anymore. It's like, it's so bad.
I thought so. That's why I was like really confused as to why they would have picked up the Skywrath. Because yeah, it gets the early 6, which can really kill a Terrorblade fast, but
I just want to say something for a minute. Like, this TV set is freaking sick as holy shit.
Yeah, we didn't get a
I
chance to
love that.
talk hats last time. The hats
Yep.
in this
That's
game
no.
across the
Very sad.
board are incredible. Is this a new Legion set? I feel like I haven't even seen it. Is that out of like?
I
his
think-
boxes? 'Cause that looks beautiful.
I don't
Got the-
think it's the new one. I think it's... I need to double check, because I think I have this one. Honored Servant of the Empire or something like that. It's like a 13 AUD one, so probably like a $10 set. Let me double check.
I already got a pause.
Lovely. Yeah,
Give us
Honored Servant
time
of the
to-
Empire, I believe, is a set.
I can check for you
As
real
a
quick.
quick pause.
It is Honored Servant of the
Yeah.
Empire. Although the weapons are the inscribed blades of Both Damash, so
Yeah, it's that set plus the Arcana. Looks excellent.
Right.
I feel like
Do you guys
Rich,
feel like there's a world where this TV just, like, cannot carry this game?
yes. I think it's a very small world, but there is a world there. And it all comes down to whatever this Skywrath can do early.
This is a level 30 Terrorblade. Like a a full
Yeah, this is a Terrorblade player, dude.
Not to like say, oh, that means this Terrorblade definitely wins the game, because it's very dependent on the space made by the team.
Yeah.
But that is terrifying. Yeah, I think Catz have tools to be able to make plays in the early game and ruin Terrorblade's day.
Here's the other thing. They could definitely make sure this Terrorblade doesn't carry, but it doesn't leave much for what they can do for the rest of the team. So, you know.
Yeah, with that being said, I think that I kind of prefer Dire's dropped a little bit. I think the TB versus Ursa matchup is TB favored after like third item, right? Like Scotty,
Yeah.
like Manta, Scotty, Pike, or something. And then I think it's TB favorite from there. Well, I don't.
More than
I'll have
likely.
to see. Like, it depends on how early Ursa gets Satanic, I guess.
I'm also really bad at Terrorblade, so I mean, everything is really good against me playing that hero.
The Roshas are going to be huge in this too. Like
Yeah, Seacat has to spend so much effort to like control Rosh.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with Dire's lineup is they can only really Rosh when meta's up, right? So at least they have a more like defined cooldown, whereas Ursa can kind of run it like no problem, right?
So here's how I think that this whole thing's gonna go down. If they want to like ruin this carry TB's game, is they have to get lots of duels specifically on him with ults coming out from the Skywrath.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, it's like
the big
it feels so weird to do that, right? Because the Skywrath is playing mid and not 4, so naturally he's not going to be playing as close to Legion, right? Which is kind of odd when you think about it. Like they might have wanted to put the Sky 4.
As soon as he hits 6, like it's a hero that you want to rotate early on.
The early engage on Little Block Troy. They will have enough damage to get the first
You've
blood
just
there.
achieved first blood.
And
Spawn.
Monster just walks up and goes at body blocking Gonzo a little bit. See if they can get much done there.
Oh, did they do an entire role swap? This is actually playing the mid Kunkka. So they just straight up swap roles. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
Okay, so they will.
Okay.
Okay, woo. Okay, we had the draft correct at the beginning. They just swapped around heroes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think this mid matchup is a lot more even than the Ember Sky matchup for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta
And this TV's
might be a little bit more Kunkka. I think.
I think the early levels are Kunkka favorite, but he can't break Flame Guard. So once Flame Guard gets to like 2 points, I think it evens out a little bit on the trades. It really depends on how far the Kunkka can run away with this like early CS lead.
I think a lot of it. Well, so the Tidebringer's always going to keep Ember on his toes. As well as Kunkka just being a little bit of a tankier hero in general. That I think it's gonna go. I mean, it goes even, but I think it's very slightly. And then again, it's me close skill. Talk about this.
It definitely depends because you know, you can always slight dodge the Tide as well if you can bait it. So it's definitely a very finicky and like technical matchup. It really does come down to player skill on this one.
We saw just how good Dog is at Ember in the last game. Kunkka is Distance's second most played hero all time.
So I mean,
games.
Should be
and interestingly often in the support role, although they play it both ways. So really interesting play coming out from St. Catz switching things up. This now gets the stun up on Ember.
Damage out there.
Yeah.
Just putting in a little bit of hate, but the bottle's coming in for the Ember, so he's gonna kind of shrug the stuff. As mid laners do, the kind of water rune snooze fest.
Gonzo is being gone on though. Bottom gets the LSA off. You're
Luckily,
pushed
low
away
top
with bulwark.
escape.
Oh no!
Oh, the centaur stun.
Centaur cramp. You got nice body blocks though. Should go down still. On 3.
Unless
2,
Tech tries to throw the
1,
tree
there
and
it is.
get in the way. Parker does find the kill.
So Skywrath has completely run out of mana.
Which, you know, is
Very
pretty normal
cool.
on the hero. I said at this
Yep.
point, you usually like walk off and die, but
Gonna opt to run back to base instead. Normally you would like kind of suicide yourself to the tier 2.
yeah. Or
It's a
even I
fossil.
would have at that point in time stepped back to maybe stack up both those jungle camps.
Yeah,
Your
stack the jungle camps as well. You have a Congo in your game, like
Yeah.
so it's pretty nice to give you stacks, but a little bit of missed efficiency. As per usual.
There's one thing I
in extra time alone in lane, which maybe they want.
The amount of times I think I should stack, and I look up the clock, it's like 53, and I'm like,
Yep.
So
Now
CS
tree
looks
flows
quite
mid.
cool. I mean,
Seems
distance is
low,
he's
Dog
gonna
just-
take a lot of damage to the flame guard actually.
Yeah. He go down here and does. Dog gets the kill.
Yeah, slight miscalculation, not respecting the flame guard damage and falls for it. So it's kind of what, yeah, you know, the matchup goes is flame guards. As long as he can't break it, it's such a threat to any laner, right? So definitely a little bit awkward.
I also don't see until you maybe get like the Sky 6, the Legion 6. Oh,
A lot of damage
Well,
coming
not
out
falling.
under tower on the left shoulder.
there. Monster's also falling low though.
Yep.
Does have meta down.
Yeah, it looks like they will respect the metamorphosis. But that was the very tail end of it. Bot lane has been a bit quieter this time around.
What do you rotate?
It's
though,
being
mid?
quieter, but Mars has actually somehow like amassed a pretty significant CS gap.
Yeah.
Normally, like this is quite atypical of the matchup. I mean, normally Ursa is doing really good, but he's actually opted to like rush the first Battle Fury component. So a little bit of a greedier build's gonna find a little bit of punishment for that, as he's missing regen and a lot of like laning stat items. So
I also think like the potential threat of LSA and Dragon Slayer.
yeah, the Spirit LSA combo at this point in the game is very threatening because he needs Enrage to be able to shrug that off, right? But obviously, it weighs away.
Well, actually, no points in the games yet.
He's been hit by almost every single spear here.
But now stepping
I think
forward with the Frost
yeah.
Armor. And Japan to getting low, one more hit should do it. Try to dodge back over the LSA, Parker
nice.
goes down first! And then they trade Tippy.
Is Gonzo now the carry?
Beautiful LSA from Gonzo, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
Mid lane,
Yeah, or-
distance dies again.
Wow. Dog getting the upper hand in that matchup.
well, here's what just happened.
Riding back. I'm the
Whatever
damage
I
coming
talk
down to
about-
station.
Whatever I talk about, just whatever the opposite's going to happen. So
On both sides, Lin will step
although the
back.
one thing I had been correct here is that I did think that the potential for the Mars to be a decent counter for the Ursa at this point in time in the game with the spears, because he's been hit by, like I said, just about every single spear.
I mean, it's just that the Ursa has absolutely no regen, right? Like, look at this guy. He's so susceptible to getting perks. Which is kind of rough, because he's laning as, like, the literal, like, maybe not literal, but one of the best laners in the game, right, in Lino. Yeah. Yeah, so...
I'm surprised
Definitely
they opted
get-
for the Claymore
Well,
during the regen.
Skywrath.
Monster
Yeah,
goes
it's definitely a
down.
greedy build, for sure.
Looks like there's just magic missile into a metamorphosis. So, they do have the pullback on Sinister Gaze at least.
It does have a point in it now, so that's an option. But it is channeled, so if you have LSA or Spear up, they have the end.
It's nice. I like this ward coming out here from Gonzo. Just able to sit in these trees a little bit and throw LSA whenever he needs to, and you're not able to see when it's coming down.
He misses Dragon Slave, but yeah, I mean, Parker just can't stand in this lane with how poorly his region management has gone. I mean, this is like the hard part of playing as Lena, right? You just get clipped all the time. It's so annoying.
Trickster's rune of illusion.
Go.
We're starting to see like a 2k lead's already grown for the start of stage 3 again, so
Yeah.
definitely a bit rough as Bo2 is making stacks, but gonna get interrupted with Lotsa. He's gonna body block the stack camp. A little bit project. There's 2 bounties there if he's gonna go for it.
I don't know if he's gonna go for it though.
Might not have seen it,
Definitely not.
or in nighttime, so didn't quite have the vision.
Yeah,
right
as stage
on
3
it.
are sweating a little there, but gonna be fine. Dude, I mean, actually they're gonna run a forward on distance. He pops the ghost ship to get the run buff, but
If he does
I mean,
get there,
yeah, this
background from
actually-
Gonzo might get the kill here.
oh, Gods actually saw him.
Oh, LSA connects.
There's another LSA. Holy
Frost
shit!
Armor's
Who
not
is this
enough.
Lena, guys?
Gonzo's showing up.
Yeah, I
I mean,
told
there's
you.
a region rune to the Embers. Like, he's gonna feel so good about that one.
Generation.
There is little
He
Really
the ship's
for
game
Radiant's
here.
middle tower.
Should see him pop his flame guard to extend his region rune a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Yep, there we go. Okay, take a little. Maximizing the region.
probably could have thrown out a flight of fist if he really wanted to,
Radiant
but
should look to their middle tower.
Yeah, I mean, he's already one component towards the Maelstrom, right? This is a scary Ember. There's a... Yeah, shockingly, Ursa getting kicked out of the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Very, very, very atypical. And Lena's kind of had a lot of, free time to move. She's level
Got
6
the X
already.
on dog mid.
there's no way.
Oh, able
yeah.
to slate dodge.
Slight dodges that as well. Love Ember.
I feel like he's probably played this matchup quite often. There's 3 sitting mid, by the way, for
Radiant should look to their
3.
middle tower.
It looks like
It
they're
could be
gonna
very
wrap
dangerous.
up.
I would expect to see they want to put levels on Boxer at some point. I mean, she's gonna grab the term.
Radiant's
I think the
Six.
right
tower is
just
under
see if they can
attack.
get some kills off on station.
Yeah, I mean, this
Yeah, that's
could be a
definitely
dangerous
what they're setting
rotation.
up for
Meta's
here.
still up for a little bit
Yeah,
longer,
are
but
gonna be spotted out though. They have this ward right here.
yeah. And tries for the slight, doesn't get it. Doesn't have chain skill, so
Look to their middle tower.
a little bit rough.
Parker,
So
just
Tart,
go back up mid.
Danger.
yeah. Alright, we've got the mid party. I mean, Ursa's also jungling pretty close. I mean,
And this
Radiant's
Mars is
bottom
just out
tower
here
is
just
under attack.
freely farming.
Yep. Getting all the lane creeps, slowly working the tower down.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He should have a pretty quick blink off this.
Yep, already got Falcon Blade phase boots. Just looking
I mean, we'll
for-
see if he even opts for the blink, right? I mean, he still has Venge Swap to set up. He has the Ember. So
Yep.
he could even opt for something greedier, like, oh, as he
Oh,
comes
they are
here.
gonna engage down here, and Ninja Panda is gonna kill this guy around the arena there.
The
Aw,
Could
dude,
be
I
here
think this is
to,
one of those guys.
Try to
Tries
teleport away
TV,
from
There it
Silver.
is.
Okay, there's the duel. They do get the
Just
duel
barely.
victory, so first stack of damage for this Legion commander.
I feel like
Picking up that 10
there's
damage.
it's too much of a step forward from the Skyrat. He got a little overexcited about this kill, and
Yeah, it does pay for it with his life, but overall not too bad. Like, it doesn't feel too bad for them.
it
Yeah,
could
you
be
are
worse.
pretty happy to
Monster
get the
definitely
duel
did a little bit of a misposition.
Nitpicking little things, you know.
Double damage.
I mean, it Dota's like a game where all the small things matter, right? Like,
Look to their top
It is
that
also
makes it so
much
like
easier-
beautifully complex. So
much easier, like as the caster looking in, like, oh, so many mistakes, and then you're in the game, like, I didn't see that at all.
yeah, I mean, they'll probably like feel it in the game, right?
I'm
But,
sure it happens, but like,
Gotta compartmentalize and move on.
Dyer's middle
yeah. I'm big on that one, you know, hindsight 2020, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that one. Just at the moment, it's like,
Oh, actually, the Ursa's
tower
being found by the Mars, misses the spear.
there's no
Unlucky.
arena though. Does that have a range
Drawn
of
in.
Oh,
Yeah, Arena
Gets
in
the bouncy
5.
rune.
Stop
Oh.
showing Gonzo.
There's
There's
the
gonna
Sky Rat.
rotate in as well.
Finish this. He is gonna finish this.
Now they're gonna look to set up on Gonzo, who stayed up the high ground a little long. Spear backs them away. Nice
Arena.
blast.
But now
Comes
Maz is
out.
stuck.
He has
Now
no
here's
arena.
the arena, but the duel is out. It'll be a true one-on-one thanks to the arena. And duel
They're just
victory
gonna look it
not
up, right?
claimed.
I mean,
And
Ursa,
Parker
hold
low,
on,
but
he has
jumping
100
forward.
HP.
Radiant's top tower is
Oh, even then, gets a pullback.
Backs
Roll
away.
happening here.
Now Panda jumps in, gets the shield onto Tippy. And the boat comes in from
Finally
distance
get
to
it.
finish off.
Meanwhile, top though, this is a tier 1. As Free Farm Terrorblade, it's very fun.
Yeah, Jay Harris has had quite a bit of space ever since they moved down here to address the Mars hitting their tower. And so it ends up being the top tower that goes down first.
Yep, and he's gonna take away these ancients too, which is really huge because Ursa is a hero that can take it quite fast even without the Battle Fury. So this is definitely going to feel really good for them.
If we're looking at levels, it's a level 8 Ursa to a level 10 Terrorblade.
I mean, it is kind of normal, right? I mean, TV just kind of farms faster, and with the Ursa being like kicked out of lane, I mean, he's going to be struggling a little bit on farm.
Kicked out of lane, and then they just weren't able to pressure the Terrorblade because of that.
Yeah. But it does also kind of feel like with the rotation of the station made bottom to kind of pick off the Mars, right? Your LC's playing away from the person that you want to pressure, so it's giving TB
Radiant's
too much
bottom
room.
tower is
They're gonna look for a
under
catch
Like,
on Parker
even
here,
with-
jumps forward,
oh.
has arena available. Opts not to.
They get the instant silence on mid lane.
There's the
Oh,
jump.
Douglas on
It's
200
a little
HP.
bit off from the.
Unlucky. If they had dropped the ghost ship, they might have actually gotten it, but I guess he didn't expect his fault to be that big.
Oh, there goes the Sky Rat.
Arena comes out, they find Sky in the triangle.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna start setting up on this mid tower as they don't have arena, but even without it, I mean, without their kind of
Dire should look to their top
major
tower.
damage in the Ursa, it's a little bit hard for them to kind of contest this tower. I mean, they could kind of burst waves and Tidebringer waves, but
Is in danger.
can be a little bit awkward to defend this. We'll see if they end up committing for this, as they're gonna opt to run at the Ursa to kick him out of top. So definitely not having a very comfortable game, as he's kind of getting run up from all members.
Spoke of 2, the Legion Sky, which
Yeah, I think this is on the Legion blink, trying to get something good out of that timing with the Skyrath ult.
This might be a little bit awkward because there's 3 heroes mid and one of them's defend, so if they can't find him, might get swapped out of the door. We'll have to see what happppens. Is they're kind of waiting for
They're gonna
someone to
smoke
show,
as
but
well on Dire. They're both setting up. I
They're gonna
think
light
they
up
might have
Parker.
seen the Lich, or they're just gonna run into the triangle
they're
and
just
find
they're gonna
us.
run into the
Yeah.
triangle, but I mean,
They are gonna get the duel.
Mars.
And the Skyrath
Yeah,
ult.
on the other side,
So-
Gonzo is gonna look for the Ursa. Oh!
So
Solo
both
kill
teams-
for the Lena.
Both
just
teams
need
get
to
what they
get the
came
last-
for.
Oh dear God.
Oh, Delina's not
good.
gonna get away with this.
Oh,
Scot
no.
free though. Silenced up, chained back. If he gets the last hit in.
It looked like they were trying to get a swap going from Venge.
Radiant's
But-
bottom tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
It's a little bit awkward. But
I mean, we got farming things happening from the.
yeah. The
Airplane.
real winner is the TB, right? I mean, he moved bottom lane, has an ancient stack. So he's definitely feeling really good about that. I mean, as long as Ursa is kind of being shut down, there's not many things that threaten him this game.
Panda jumps forward mid with the arena, swings her back up, trying to find another kill on distance, gets stunned up
I mean,
by the magic
Roscoff
missile,
is
but swapped
giving
out
so
to
much
save the
tankiness.
Ember, who's silenced. Get the X on the
200
block
HP
through.
on both mid laners.
Panda still stepping
I
up,
see
gets the
it's for
spear
the
back
duel,
on LC. Dog gonna have to TP out. Now
He
all
still
5
has the
Radiant
remnant if
heroes
he
here.
wants to re-engage, as they actually might opt to give this mid tower up, but smoke forward. They don't have arena, but they do have the remnant sitting in front of the Radiant team.
It is a blink, so you could blink spear back.
Yep.
Dog's back.
Yeah, as Radiant's gonna
So
opt to
Radiant
not
come
pressure
back
that
away.
tower.
Or are they gonna
I
find
mean, TV
Jay
illusions.
Harris here?
Oh! They try to
Oh.
smirk on the TV bottom, but they completely missed
They miss
him.
it.
Radiant's
Tippy's gonna
tower
find it.
is under attack.
They will see him.
Well,
but
there's help here,
I mean,
so
the Lions
Lich
are already here.
Bye bye, Tippy.
is gonna get hurt.
Radiant's bottom tower
Now,
is
Station
this-
Monster, did they stay too close? They're gonna be forced to retreat now as well.
Radiant's
I don't know if they
No
know
TP
Station
on
is here,
Monster.
but
Blink from
Oh,
Ninja misses.
nice
Oh,
blink
Blink
from
to
Station.
dodge the LSA.
wait, does he know where he is? Might drop the arena. Not gonna opt not to use it just yet.
Hey,
Try the
they're
LSA a little farther down over
Dire
here.
should
I think they just thought it TP'd out by now.
Yeah, I mean, Burton get away scot-free. I mean, impressive
Yeah.
jukes coming out, especially from Station who dodged the LSA just in time.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous win.
I was gonna say if they tried to step out to find anything extra, they would have more than likely been shut down pretty quickly. But did you make this rotation top where Ninja Panda went himself? I don't think they'll be able to get a kill on him or anything, but
I'm very. This is curious. What is Parker looking for? He's kind of just ignoring the wave. As carries do.
probably gonna
We'll get one range for those troubles.
This
they're
is a
kind of
change
looking
up
at this
in
as
the mid
mid.
lane, but has the Orchid, but the damage comes out from Gonzo. Ninja Panda, they find the kill immediately, turning towards that tower.
There is a smoke that came out
As
top,
is-
4 of them, and I think
Yeah, but there's no real TPs for this mid tower, so that's gonna drop for sure. And
Yeah, looks like Radiant's just gonna try to trade it for the top tower. They'll get a good amount of damage on it.
they have a
Gonzo coming
fortified
in.
defense. Is
Have the
horrible.
LSA onto 2.
they do have arena up. They are coming
Gets
right on top.
an eye on the tower. Well done, Gonzo. Now Pak Choi's in, maybe looking for a swap. As the rest of the team rotates in around the back, here comes Doug. Chains onto 2, into the arena, and the stun Lich is obliterated. Parker gets the enrage off though, does get out with a swap save, and Parker goes down.
Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2.
Beautifully
Double
executed kill. Pair of kills.
I mean, meanwhile, TV just got the bottom tower, right? And then Kunk is, well, I mean, he's already on half HP. Actually, about to fall to the Terrorblade. TV
yeah,
comes up
very
in time,
close
but
there.
oh,
They get the X, and no Mantis. They are going to duel on this Terrorblade. Is it going to be
I mean, he
enough?
still has Sunder, right? It might not be enough.
Oh, they get the silence off.
Thunder.
Distance goes down first. He's silenced. He can't.
But what you said, you're not really getting hardly any HP off that. Either way,
True, they were both low anyway, so. Ends up
Could've
being a
restored
trade,
for
which I
30%,
think
you know what I mean?
Catz is pretty happy with.
Yeah, I mean, they finally put a dent in the TV, but he already did what he wanted to do, right? He got the tier 2 tower.
Yeah.
A lot of TPs
Kill on
bottom, and now this outpost is ready for the staking. They Verge is their next objective, and then, I mean, it almost looks unstoppable for this TV, right? And he almost, I mean, he already has massive Dragon Lance. So, he'll be kind of running around with 2000 HP, and with the Aegis,
once got his first ultimate orb too.
yeah. I mean, this is a scary, scary position to be in for Catz, as looking for the early temper, but couldn't really find it.
Getting
Getting
the
the
forward.
Mars.
Oh, the swap
out.
save.
Save.
No dual victory. They do find a kill on Tippy in the
no.
back line, and the monster goes down next. Ninja Panda very low left to go.
Station
Station now on the run. Ninja Panda jumps back in for the spear. 3 Radiant go down.
Is they gonna look for this tier 2 instead of Verge? Respectable. I mean, the wave's already here. Mars needs to reset, so I'd imagine they will want to just wait for him to TP back to the uppers and then they go for Verge with the arena.
Wait, I think they're waiting for meta on the road.
Yeah, they also need meta as well, so just gonna wait for
Radiant's
timing to align.
tower is
Oh,
They'll
actually,
even
gonna
get some
walk
damage
up to
on the
high
tier
ground?
3 here.
I mean,
He's
they can
still
still
dead for just over 10 seconds. We'll get some damage. You have the frost shield from Lich.
They might be waiting to just force the Ursa back, as I'm pretty sure he saw him farming on top of the ward, so I mean, Gonzo gets X marked into the torrent, but has the duels. And I mean, yeah, I mean, this looks like, I don't know, this feels so awkward, right? I mean, he's gonna walk forward, trying to look for the next X mark, but the Venge W will scare him away. Oh, actually, Ember is in the middle, 3 heroes, gets duel, but has the BKB and the swap save.
Yeah, and the arena comes down. Guna finishes off the Legion
bounce
commander.
back and forth, but to end with those 2 creeps.
A station will
Nobody goes
last
down.
and only to fall.
It's kind of
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean, TV's just poking your bottom again, right?
Yeah,
It was a
so much of
45
this
right
game,
there.
like
Barker's
there's
taking so much damage from these illusions.
there's 29 kills in this game, and the TV's only been there for 5 of them. So much of this game has been a 4v5.
You didn't have to ask like when they decide to start looking at Roche, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it is kind of this major objective that they need for the TV. As actually,
They
Gonzo
get to
gets
go on
shredded by
Gonzo.
the Earth mid.
maybe falling low
Yeah,
with
sure,
chains,
he
gonna get
dies.
finished off with the spear. Jumping
Parker
back
also
in, Parker
falling very
low.
low.
You were a millennial.
Dog is
Slight
just
finish.
finishing
Oh my
around
God,
with
he
the
was
So
spear
much
right
damage
now.
from the Ember.
They even have the
Bok Choy gonna
range
get
up there.
dueled, so they do get that little return kill. But now
Oh,
chains
God.
again, distance gonna go down, stunned up, and Legion
Oh
as
my
well.
god, I don't think that was worth it. You go back to high ground, you know, just take out. Who needs Roche?
Yeah, at this point, you've
Just kill him.
just used meta, so they're gonna use that for a tier 3 rather than for an Aegis.
Yeah, I mean, and the Bulwark active from Mars also makes this so much easier, right? If he focuses on this actual whole creeper could be protected. But gonna opt to do it right at the end, as Mars players do.
They're just showing they don't need the keep wave. Just one.
Yeah, they do have the damage with this Mana Orb. It's the terribly.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
you
coming
have
to
to
an
be a
end,
little
really.
bit careful if they try to re-engage with the respawns, right? But I mean, they must feel so strong right now. 20k lead already. I mean, this Ursa's inventory just looks so bare.
It's pretty much empty.
Oh, not intended.
Like nobody seems to have any items on the side of Radiant.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been.
You
I
have-
wouldn't even say chain feeding, but I mean, these fights just haven't been working in their favor, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get a blink
They're
duel on the
go
Reno, but
for yeah, they're gonna get the kill on Reno, so a nice little pick for them.
yeah,
Ursa's
Ursa's
in,
running forward,
very deep,
looking for
Bok
revenge.
Choy. They are
Don't
gonna
they
find
get it?
that as well, so another good pick. And these are the kinds of things they need, and this Parker's still going in. These
I mean,
are
he
the kinds
has
of
the
pickoffs
haste.
that their team comp is built around. Ember is gonna get
I'm not gonna find it.
able to remnant away.
Oh,
Now it's
and they're
too
gonna
dead.
look at
Can
Roche
Radiant
now,
set up
actually.
at Roche?
There's still
I
an
think
arena
they have
there.
it. With Ursa.
I don't think they have the time. I mean, Roche supports are respawning in 10 seconds. If they run contested right now,
Yep. Tippy
Oh, they just
wards,
figured it out.
the blue ward, so Dyer's gonna know that this is happening, or at least have a hunch.
They got the scan now.
yeah, I mean, they scanned it out, but I mean, doesn't look like they want to contest. I mean, Ember
Yeah,
is
they don't
running
have
towards the other
metamorphosis
side
for
of the
another
map
20
right now.
seconds. They can't get there in time. So that's the first Aegis goes towards Radiant, so Catz still putting up a fight here. They get a
Yeah, I
couple
mean,
of
that's
really
gonna
nice
stall out their
picks.
high ground push for a long time now, actually. And this is gonna buy time for, I mean, Conker's about to get his BKB, 500 gold. Eartha just got his blink as well, and I mean, that's gonna make these supports feel a lot squishier on the side of Take 3, so
Yeah, this is really
really important that that comes out. I mean, I would expect to see, like, within the next 5 minutes, like, maybe Legion starts heading towards the BKB as well. I mean, Ursa looking towards the Basher. Not exactly sure how much I'm a fan of that, but might already feel survivable enough with just the Enrage.
Oh,
but-
but I feel like you need.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, distance could
that's
run
so
into trouble
big that they
here.
lost the Verge like that.
Farming
As
far
oh,
out.
Distance actually getting caught top. Has the TP. I
The
will
LSA
say
is gonna
right
come
on
Oh
the
my
out.
god. Dead center.
Dude, who is this Lena player, guys?
The real
This
carry
is gonna
here.
look for
Chasing
the
around,
trade back, but,
Bok
I
Choy
mean,
in the
Hel's
area, here comes
already
the
arrived.
silence. Throw down the boat,
no.
lots of damage coming out. But there's the
Got to get
swap
swapped
and
away,
the
has the
Yules,
LSA.
dodges the LSA. Gets the
Actually, the
Tidebringer
LSA
to
off
kill
the mark.
But distance eventually goes down. But got away with way more than they should have there.
Yeah.
It makes a whole lot of space, because you've got the entire Dire team up there. So Parker Station, they're getting some farm elsewhere on the map. They're getting pressure on this tower.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit of a
Ward,
mistake from
but-
Gonzo not getting the Yules before the Burt Torrent lands, and cost a little bit too much damage. Had to happen, but Kroger still dies, so I would imagine they're not too sad about that one.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it is still the mid for a support, and it gives them the space they need to take away the last tier 2 from the Radiant.
are gonna force them all to return.
Yeah, I think
Still
they're
a
going to
nice thing.
use this to stop the
Oh.
push. Now getting huge stuns. Chains, that's
There goes Aegis.
Another monster Skywrath's gone before
Paper.
Parker can respawn. They do get the catch.
Oh no.
Andre Harry's been now Ninja Panda in with a big arena. Slight Chains in.
Oh, I
Dead
think we
again
just
on
get
Ursa.
PG called
Tippy
out
as
very
well.
soon.
3 heroes, no buyback.
Yeah, this could be
I mean,
Megas
there is
right
just
here.
no
27
fear
minutes
from
in.
Takes True. Wow.
The response there, I think knowing that Kunko was still down, Station hadn't quite arrived yet. They brought everybody back, able to get a really good catch on a couple heroes.
And there goes Megas right here.
Yeah, I don't think these heroes are going to be up in time for them to do anything about it.
Yeah, the
They call GG.
There it
28
is.
minutes.
Wow.
I mean, what a hell of a showing.
Yeah.
I mean, as they try to get the last kill, not gonna get a kill on Station, but I mean, yeah, I mean, that was just really, really clean.
Yeah.
That was insanity right there.
Very strong showing from Takes Three to Tango.
Yeah, it's kind of even hard to like pinpoint what went wrong for Catz that game. I mean, kind of felt like in all lanes they were kind of struggling a little bit. I mean,
I think it was a tough lane matchup mid that was really going to go the way of whoever made slightly better plays in the early game, and Dog was able to do that. The other lanes, top was pretty even, but that means that a Terrorblade was getting pretty good farm. And then the fact they were able to push the Ursa out, which should have been a really devastating safe lane from the Lich and Ursa. So being able to beat that lane with the Mars Lina. Lina just looking like an incredibly strong hero right now. Definitely, I think support of the series I gotta give to Gonzo.
Did you want team captain or draft captain? I'm guessing team, right?
Anyone that wants to come is free to come.
Yeah,
Yep.
whoever wants to.
I'm prepared to just like meet the whole team. Yeah, kind of exciting. Oh, 3 people.
Whoa.
Hey,
Yeah, not quite the whole team, but close
I
to it.
told everybody to come.
what's going on?
Let's go.
Hello.
That's on the win.
Thank you, thank you.
That was
Right, so,
really strong showing
yeah, I mean-
in both games.
Gonna enjoy a little bit of ruffle stomping. I can't speak. Okay. Do you want us? Oh. Okay, never mind.
Oh, she went to the wrong channel. She switched.
No, she was in our channel before. She just left.
Oh, she's back. Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
we apparently. I think she's having.
Oh, that's
I guess
4th.
I'll start the interview, guys. I got you. Yeah, they were fun games. Definitely enjoyed them. My mid Ember both games just dominated.
Yeah, really strong
Yeah,
showing
I mean,
there.
gotta feel
Team
good,
Dogs
right?
Ember. No deaths in the second game.
Yeah, I got pretty
Yeah.
lucky. I don't know. Some people say that the Kunkka Ember is a bad matchup for him, but I picked into it confidently, so I guess it worked out.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually.
I
I
mean,
was
it feels
on-
like he disrespected the Flame Guard a little bit, right? Because while the Typing Grace threw it, I mean, the Flame Guard, you can't really break it. So he tried to trade into it like twice and then died for it. It was
He
like,
definitely had no respect for the
Oh.
Flame Guard it cost him the lane. Did we
Yeah.
pick into that, or what was the...
We
what was
picked
the-
into it.
I think.
We
we last
countered
picked
the
Ember.
Kunkka with it? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
we last
That's what I
picked
mean,
Ember.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
picked
the last
into it
pick
with
Ember.
Yeah,
Second
yeah.
to last pick Kunko.
So I figured it would go something like that. I think it's kind of favored for him to be able to slight dodge the Tidebringer in crucial moments and stuff. But yeah,
Did
definitely two
you
good Ember games.
were you worried for a moment after, because if you liked the Ember matchup into the Kunkka, then when you saw distance lock in the Kunkka, you think then it was going to be a 4 Kunkka, and did you prefer the
No.
matchup with
we-
Skywrath, or
We pretty much knew. I actually played for Catz last year, and I play with them. They're like the main people I play Dota with right now, and it was just ironic that I stood in for this team. It was like
gotcha.
fate putting it together. So I mean, when they picked the Skywrath, I knew it was gonna be Mott going to 4. I mean, that's just because of the inside knowledge that I know. So we knew it was gonna be a mid Kunga.
Okay, interesting.
I do want to point out that we did have some 5-head drafts with like the Lina flex pick in the very beginning of the second game.
Yeah, and the
'Cause
OD
we were
pick.
we were expecting to run the Lina in either like mid or safe lane.
Mhm.
Okay, only
And
back.
in the previous game, did the same thing with OD, I think, and they definitely thought that was going mid.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I play with them all the time, and I usually play mid for them. And I don't know, they kept telling me that they were going to ban OD because we were having fun like nudging conversations like the days prior. Because it's easily my best hero. Probably because it takes no skill and I'm bad, but when it got picked, it was like they 100% thought it was mid, and that gave us a free pick on the mid lane at the end, which I really helped.
Yeah, and flexing the Lina too. I enjoy those kinds of draft strats. And Lina's such a strong hero and strong laner that you can get away with playing her almost anywhere right now and using that to your advantage.
So I just wanted to ask you, Panda, how did you feel seeing the Ursa and picking the Mars into it? Because normally that's pretty Ursa favored, right?
Yeah, I mean we had a Lina, so I felt good about the Spear and LSA setup early game, and I mean personally I've never ran into an Ursa who I wasn't able just to spear away. Obviously I died early in the game to the Frost Shield, but we managed to turn around and get a double kill on my Lina, which I mean I wish I got that double kill, but the Ursa died first, so it was overall good. I just like
the second best case.
Yeah.
Anyone have any more questions, or should I keep picking their brains?
Go for it. If you've got a question on your mind.
All right. So I wanted to ask, at what point in the second drop did you decide that you were going to put the Lina in 4?
Last pick.
I think
we were always open to it. Yeah, I mean, like we pick it with an open, like it's a flex, right? But we weren't sure until the very, very last pick. That's right, because
we were like 75% sure it was going 4, but we were still open to switch.
Alina could have gone mid, but at the end of the day, it was like, okay, I think I'd rather take an Ember.
We had carry
than
mid or
Alina.
4 lined up, and we wanted the Ember pick, and then we also wanted the TB, so we just said, yeah, we'll send it 4. But I mean, it's definitely not a bad lead. I was happy to have Alina 4.
Yeah, they look really good.
That's my support. Yeah, Gonzo.
I mean, it's just such an annoying support to play against, right? You get clicked so often. I mean,
it's so annoying.
So nice.
Especially against a Lich. I mean, Lich wants to get on you with this Frost Shield, but she's just right-clicking you from like halfway across the map. It's so annoying.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I noticed was like Ursa went first item Claymore. Like,
yeah, when I saw that, I was like,
wild,
we're just gonna right-click this dude.
Yeah.
He had to leave the lane in like 6 minutes. Yeah, I think the Claymore really screwed him.
Yeah. It was like level 4 jungling, like outside his mid tier 2. I was like, this guy's not having a fun game, man. It was
I was really sad. I fed when I was trying to take the bottom tower. That I saw the Skywrath come in. I was like, oh, the Skywrath is just dead. Which he was. I had my arena, just arena spear, boom, boom, dead. The Legion was there following me. I'm like, okay, the Legion's following me. They probably got someone else who TP'd, and then I just see the Lich appear from the trees above me, and I was very sad.
Yep. But honestly, all of that, like getting them to finally rotate down to you, because you were standing behind that tower, letting the creeps hit it for minutes, and they weren't.
Yeah,
doing
for like a minute and a half. They ended up getting a kill for it and a dual damage, but I got a 4-kill in response and like almost the entire tower, so I wasn't too upset. I was upset because I knew I could have made it out of there.
Taking the top tier 1 and just
moved their whole focus down to the bottom lane.
That actually became my sole game plan, and I got it around like middle of game 1 when I was playing OD. I was like, I'm gonna become so annoying that they try to throw as much at me to kill me that my carry and mid just get absolute free farm. Second game, that worked a lot better. First game, I ate like the first 3 dooms.
Yeah.
It was rough, man. It was rough.
Like, they wanted me. I died twice in a row, which was really awful, but that was like 3-4 minutes on my carry who was just having the time of his life. And it was a PA. Like when the PA showed up, I mean, props.
Yeah, okay. So I wanted to ask you, how did you feel in that draft, like all throughout, but especially like in regards to this Naga Siren? I mean,
we had no clue. We had no clue Naga was coming. We thought it wouldn't be possible to pick it.
Yeah, you didn't think it was good either?
No, we were thinking it was either Ursa or Spectre. And that was just knowledge of his hero pool and we explained. He plays Naga, but Naga wasn't something I thought would happen because it just didn't seem like the best picks.
Yeah, it felt like you guys already had plenty of AoE to deal with the
Yeah.
Naga, and that was kind of how it played
And
out.
looking at it, the Naga wasn't a terrible pick. It definitely
I
wasn't.
think they
an
would
easy
have won
Naga
if
game.
it went super late. To be honest, I
Yeah,
think that Naga would have beaten the
but
Ember and PA.
They didn't. The item build on Naga just wasn't the best.
It wasn't
in my humble
yeah.
opinion, but I'm not that high on Omar, so I don't know. But
He was just.
I feel like
a
just
bit
the hard. They
behind,
they
yeah.
didn't really have much damage.
He had a hard game. That's all it was really.
And
I
props
think.
to Station on the Doom. Station played a really good Doom game because the only way people died is when Station was there to Doom them. And
Yeah, pretty
Distance
much.
Distance had a rough game 1. He went 2-9, but I actually told this to my team after the game. I was like, just because he went 2-9, he made all the plays for their team that game. Like he was the driver of that ship. It's like 2-9 is deceiving, but or 2-10, sorry.
Yeah, it felt like they had a team that had the potential to do something similar to you guys, what you did to them, of just being able to run them down, create a bunch of space, but they didn't have the like one big catch hero that they needed to like start things off for them. Like you guys just had a better team for being able to bring the early pressure with your 2-5.
Tiny did. Tiny is in my opinion, a good hero at being able to get that initiation, especially with the Doom backing him up and all the Zeus spells. But we were just running at them. They were never running at us. And when they did run at us, I died 3 times. But it was like,
yeah, but it's also like they're running into like a double OD vanish, right? It must feel super awkward.
oh, dude. After my PA got Aegis and we were taking top tier 3, I remember him saying, she's like, oh, it's okay, I got Aegis. My Aegis is going to pop. And I just hit him with the double Astral. I was like, nah, you good. You're good. Yeah. It's so annoying to play against this hero. And that's why I play it, because I'm a scumbag.
A question for the casters. Are you guys able to see game 1? Like the scoreboard? What do you guys think of the Ember build of the all blue items? That's what I was going for.
Blader's mildly cursed.
Finished with a Blightstone in the inventory doesn't count.
You didn't like the
Yeah. Invalid.
We were thinking about the Naga, and they
PA's all red build though. I will give credit.
That is a sexy.
But the BKB is yellow, and the Paladin's one's green. That wasn't
red eyes.
Yeah, it's got the red eyes. It's like you got the orange Battle Fury. It kind of, I don't know.
It's like the phase boots are purple, but it's like they're close enough to blue.
Yeah.
It's like yellow's close enough to red. It's like
I was waiting for the all green.
Semantics, guys. Semantics.
That's what I was waiting for. Is the all green build?
Yeah. You gotta totally round it out.
Yeah, this here's
dude, don't do that. Someone's gonna build like E-Blade, Swift Blink, or Drow or something and call all green, and we're just gonna lose the game instantly.
You'll have the Drow going all blue, someone mid going all red, or their offlaner going all red, and then their mid laner going all green.
I think last season my team did an all blue hero draft, and we were like, haha, this is a silly meme. And then we looked at it, we were like, wait, no, these are just some of our best heroes. They just happen to be blue.
Yeah. Well, I've got to head out, but I just want to say thank you and shout out to Catz for playing such a good game. And they're great players. It was fun to play them.
They definitely.
And thank you for the casters.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for playing. That was a wonderful cast.
Thanks for casting.
Thank you.
I also gotta step away. I gotta eat something. I haven't eaten much.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for the cast. I'm also gonna head out.
All right,
you guys. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Good job. Congrats. Oh, we've got one left standing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Never mind.
Okay. All right. I think we're good to wrap things up there anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us. Great job by both of these teams. Good luck to both of them going forward. And good luck to all of our teams. If you want to catch some of these matches, they're being streamed on a bunch of different channels by all different casters. So the best place to be is the WLD Discord. That's got all of the links to all of our upcoming games. And as they're scheduled and as casters pick them up, they throw out the links for when the game's being played. that's the place to be. Yeah, thanks so much for
Yep.
joining me, and have a great rest of your evening or afternoon or whatever time zone you're in.